Badfish, I got bamboozled the other day. I don't often get bamboozled, but I got bamboozled the other day.
Yeah, I don't think it happens often at all to you, I would say.
Very rarely.
Yeah, very rare.
So I would consider myself a really good 3D printer. Very good. But I haven't had all of my tools at my disposal. So my mindset probably about for the last month and a half has changed, right? So I'm buying all this furniture for this new garage, right? We're almost done. We're going to be hopefully dotting the I's and crossing the T's next week. And one of the pieces of furniture that I got was a desk drawer from Ikea. And I don't have any drawers on my desk. My desk is full of shit. It's a mess. And so I picked up one, and I'm picking up a second one hopefully tomorrow. But when I picked it up, it was missing the little feet. Now, the feet aren't really necessary. It's more just, I guess, the aesthetic of having the little feet on there. And it had two of them, but two of them were missing. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Amazon, and I'm sure I can find a replacement part. Search on Amazon. Sure enough, $10. Easy money, baby.
Are they like rollers or just stud things?
They're like these little feet right here.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll buy these. You know, this will be great. I will have these, and my cabinet will be complete. Tell me why I fucking get them, and it's a fucking 3D print, and I spent $10 on something I could have made myself if I had my fucking printers. So as soon as I get my shit back working, I'm returning this fucking thing. Get my $10 back.
That's hilarious.
Get my $10 back.
Zach, do you not have an IKEA close to you, or is there any in your area?
I mean, I'm not going to drive an hour to get these little feet. It's like a 30-minute round trip.
Because they can give them to you usually for free at like the customer service desk. Like they usually have like a parts desk, and they'll give you random pieces if you're missing them. But I don't know if they want to go for the drive. So that's valid.
It's definitely longer than 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know because you don't leave the house. So,
I meant for you, that's like 20 minutes for me, and you live another 20.
It's about probably an hour and 10 minutes round trip. Yeah,
with traffic.
This far.
Yeah, much further.
I was fucking furious when I opened that fucking package. I was like, you motherfucker. And it would have been one thing if they were like 3D printed on the listing. I could be like, okay, sure. But it's not even like an expense. It's a free file. I was just like, dude, my mindset has totally changed. Because normally if I had my printers working, anytime I have a problem, I could just fix it myself. But I haven't had my printers. I haven't been able to fix anything. I haven't been able to make Ben his stuff, Katara her stuff. Riley Reviews is waiting. I'm not ever making that. So you might as well give up on that.
Man.
I will.
What about the disabled?
Wow, I have a child. Anyways,
you should consider going to Home Depot and getting like some caster wheels. And honestly, having a desk, if it fits still with the extra weight height under your desk, because having it on wheels is so useful sometimes. I gotta say,
that is a great idea, Badfish. It's also not a great idea. I want that to look real clean and modern. I don't want it to look like everything has wheels under it. Okay,
you can hide them easily.
Well,
or you can get.
I mean, how small are these wheels?
You can get different ones. You can get different types. You can get like, and they can be covered with like a plastic that's like the same color as the cabinet.
Sweet summer child, Badfish. Well,
I'll
okay. At any rate, at some point the desk is going to be sitting on these shelves, so the wheels don't matter. But I was fucking furious, and I will never, ever, ever in my entire life get bamboozled.
Oh, this is the desk. I thought it was a little cabinet.
Well, it's a cabinet that goes under the desk, but the desk sits on. It makes like a,
Did you call him a summer child? What the hell is a summer child?
I see what you're.
Look at him. He's a summer child. He's a sweet summer
It's
child.
a hippie.
It's like one of those
I believe
ones.
that's what they call hippies in Canada. So.
It's
Is
like
it like one of those big desks you plank across and it rests on it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
It looks like
the build-a-desks or whatever.
They look like those pieces that you play air hockey with.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
But the thing that pissed me off is like, not only do I want to return this, fuck this guy, I want to sell these for cheaper on Amazon. Because $10, bro, for 4 of these? This is like, not like maybe 20 cents worth of material and maybe an hour worth of time.
You should just hang out in Eddie's area. Eddie finds money on the ground lately, so I mean,
that's true.
You found.
I was gonna put it on new this week,
You should have put it on new this week. So what
That was
happened?
pretty
Tell us that story.
It's not like a crazy story or
It is
anything.
a
I
crazy
was
story.
doing laundry in the apartment complex, and there's an elevator right outside my apartment that goes like right to my apartment door almost.
Wow.
And I was leaving the laundry room, and I got in the elevator, and I looked in, like, as I was walking in the elevator in the corner, there was $100 on the ground. And I was like, no way. Lucky.
That's
That's
crazy.
definitely the most I've ever found on the ground. Like, I found $5,
Not bad.
$20.
20 is the
Usually
most
at
I've
like
found.
a fair, or like at a grocery store or something. But yeah, it was crazy. $100.
What are you
I-
gonna-
For about 30 seconds, I entertained the idea of going to the apartment office and being like, someone lost $100. And then I like came to my senses real quick. Like,
Nah,
what the
bro, you
fuck
kidding
is
me?
wrong?
Yeah, it was me. Oh my god, that's
Most
totally
I've
my
ever-
bill.
How dare you?
Most I ever found was like $50, but it was wet when I found it,
Wow.
and it was like a bunch of ones, and I was like, cool. Well, as
That's-
it dried, I was started able to like take the money out, and I was like, oh, there's a 10 in here. Oh, there's another 10. Here's a 20. And so it ended
There
up
was an
being
STI in there
$50.
as well for sure.
Yeah, it was
That's hooker money, bro.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
why it
say
was
you
wet.
failed to
No, I
mention
was in
that
high
that was
school.
at a strip club.
I was walking by the pool that we had.
Wow. I used to have this gift as a child. Anytime we'd go to like a public pool, which wasn't often, but or like like Splash Town. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
always
Oh,
find
yeah.
I would always find money in like the wave pool. Like it was like a gift.
Wow.
Like it
Bro,
was like
you
my
still
special
have a
power.
gift. You almost got free furniture again.
Bro, okay. Speaking of furniture, okay, I have this weird gift. I have bought 4 cabinets. The first 3 I all got for free. So the Lego cabinet, which you'll see better in the new office, I got it for free because the glass doors arrived damaged. And Amazon was like, or Walmart rather was like, fuck it, we don't want to deal with you. Just take your money back. If you can get new glass doors from the company, that's great. If not, we're washing our hands of this. Got that cabinet for free. Then I bought, I think this was during COVID or maybe right before, I bought 2 bookshelves from Target, and it was right when they were doing that like pull up thing and then we'll bring the shit out to you, and they forgot to scan them. And so I got those for free. And I remember like it was like a week later I got my money back from Target, and I was thinking like, oh, because I did the little survey thing, and I was like, oh, maybe like I won the gift card or whatever, and they're just going to give me my $100 back. And so the email was like, oh, you never picked up your items, so here's your money back. I was like, holy shit. So I went this week to buy Victoria bookshelf for the office, and same thing. I felt bad. I was like, look, I have this magic power, but with great power comes great responsibility, and I'm almost certain that kid got fired for my last bookshelf snafu, and so I had to chase him down to scan it, because it was like, confirm you got the item in the app, and then you're supposed to sign. And then I was like, well, I feel bad, so I like asked the kid, I was like, do you need to scan this? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. So I have this gift. I don't know
Wow.
what it is.
You did the right thing. I never.
I
do
did the
thing.
right thing, but it was only $30. It was a $100 cabinet. I'd say fuck that kid.
That's happened at IKEA before. Because you know when you get a
you.
decalf.
You're okay, but you actually did it on. You're a thief.
No, that
You're a
yes,
thief.
that story I did on purpose. It's not a thief, really, if you think about it. It's just doing their job for them.
Gaming.
They're not restocking the warehouse.
Game in the
Um,
system.
But you know when you get a decalf, it's 2 packs, right? It's like 1
Yeah.
and 2, and one has the shelves, and then one's the outer layer and everything.
Yeah.
One time I got 2 detolfs, so it's 4 boxes, and the checker only scanned 2 boxes, like the 1 and
Oh,
1.
that happened to me too. Yeah.
Like I don't know if they forgot or what, but they and I was like, no, this is a. I tend to think of it as more of a blessing from God than a mistake.
Wow.
Like, no, God wanted me to have
These extra cabinets.
you know.
Eddie, what are you gonna do with the $100? That's the question. Are you gonna put it towards collecting?
What
Is
is
there anything
happening?
you got in mind?
No, not it. Actually, it's just gonna I got charged for, the 3.0 Mark 46, so
Holy shit.
it's literally like lost $100, gained $100.
I think
'cause
YouTube
that
went down.
that was $100, so I guess it's that
Uh-oh.
covers that.
Did it go down? I don't know what happened.
Let me check.
We lost it.
No, I don't know. Maybe it didn't. We had like 60 people watching, and now we have only 5.
I was just,
They're like,
I was
this
just
story
thinking about it
fucking
too much.
They're like, this story sucks, bro.
They
Uh,
took us
no,
out.
still-
The IKEA. The IKEA
Wow.
guy shut us
Oh
down.
my gosh.
The
Anyways, well, I guess we'll
guy
start
shut
the
us
show with
down.
our 6 people watching.
Never offended.
Are you an angel? What? An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Should we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Bad fish. Come on, I gave it to you, bud. I'm Ben.
Ben, what the fuck are you doing, Ben? Why would you do that?
I put it in the project. I gave it to him. I was like, you can take my seniority.
Ben, that's not how this works, Ben. That's how this works.
I'm used to going last every time. I'm used to going last every time.
Jesus. Why would you change that?
Fucked it up. Hate to see it.
Right there.
I was looking at the chat, not the private chat. Sorry.
God damn it, Ben. Okay, let's start all the way from the top. Let's start. We have 4 people watching, and we're gonna put on that 2 people watching.
2 now.
God damn. Jesus Christ.
What the hell is happening?
What is this? Bricks and brews? Just kidding.
Wow.
I think it's just
what is happening?
So that means there's one person watching.
Okay, I think I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Problems at YouTube. Look at that.
Oh,
that is
here
what
we
is
go.
happening.
Down detector.
Damn, we had like high hopes for today because all of our people that are streaming against, they weren't streaming today. Anyways, well, we're gonna do the show with 2 people, 1 people, 0 people.
I think it's just a glitch. There's lots of people typing in the chat.
We'll start it all over. All right, Ben, don't ever fucking do that again. All right.
Yeah, this isn't Let's Get Nuts, okay? This is Collecting
I tried.
So let's get Ben, okay? All right, here we go. In fact, you know what? We're gonna just do this.
Are you an angel?
Just kidding. Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ben.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Bad Fish.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I, and just that, talk about our the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting. This one is freaking me out. That's 2018 Collecting Weekly numbers right there.
Wow.
Anyways,
it's my YouTube.
0. What is happening? We have Toy Mafia, Darth Tamris, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Conquer Knight, McKinley, Sitscale Collector, Hello Action Figure Academy, DJ, Trooping with Robin, Commander Gree, Abe Dunk TV. Go check him out on YouTube and on Twitch. He's just getting started. Draw the Line 35, Universal Key, OG Fan, Flavio's House of Collectibles, JB, that was a Wishing Well, Commander Gree, Eddie Money Mendez, Calvin, the Low-Key Collector, Dean, the Dream, Martin, Yomo, Avengers Assemble. I'm having trouble hitting the like button. It says Spruce has been exhausted. Oh my gosh. Avengers Assemble, Trooping with Robin, Big Ol' Fern, Sayful, let's see, Big Rib, love that Big Rib, Toy Mafia, Sean Forrester, I think the numbers are wrong, JB, DJ, Siscale Collector, and there we go. Sean says, I'm watching on my TV and looking at the comments on my phone. That's like 2. What a guy. Mark Pearson and Sitscale Collector, 1 viewer from Portugal. We actually have a great show for you guys tonight. I'm actually kind of sad that Marco couldn't be here because I know he was probably really excited to talk about the Batman. But Dean, before we get into that and all the other figures that we have to talk about, we have a very special segment that we kick off all of our best shows with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
It's new this week.
Nobody answer me, or
That's how I felt when I asked you to go to Target for me. You didn't answer me. I was waiting for
that. Oh, there's only one person here. I was waiting for them to say it.
Can we talk about this on the show, please?
We can talk about this on the show. I would like to.
Okay.
Dean's a terrible human being.
Zach on my case for no reason.
I'm just saying, Dean asks me for favors all the time, and I'm happy to oblige with not a thought of repayment or a thought of anything but a thank you and a hug from my friend. And I asked Dean, because I was having trouble, I struck out on 0 for 3 to targets. I asked Dean, I was like, hey, whenever you go out next, can you stop by this Target Let me get the exact words that I said because I don't want this to be twisted. I need the chat to chime in here, and remind the chat how much awesome things I do for you. I said, "Can you do me a favor if you go out?" And you said, "Sure, but I'm sleeping. I just got up. I'll update when I actually get up." I said, "Fantastic," and I said, "If you do go out, Jason said this Target in your area may have this figure that I'm looking for." There are 5 of them according to the SKU, but the way that Target does it, the wave is all one SKU, so I can't tell you if it's actually going to be there. And he's like, I can pretty much guarantee I won't be going to Target anytime soon. Yeah. You can ask Rainer. He makes the rounds pretty often. What a shitty thing to say to a friend. What a terrible thing. Dean asks me favors all the time. I'd be like, well, I can pretty much guarantee you I'm not going to ever do that. So that's my attitude.
You said
I asked Dean to buy a staff. He says yes, and then he doesn't sell the staff. And then now this.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this.
We settled that. No,
we didn't.
If you go out, and I said I can pretty much guarantee I'm not fucking going anywhere. It was like,
but you know what?
Time
you know
what
you could say.
Wake up? Like
you know you could say.
PM?
Also, this is funny because we fought a lot last episode. You know, you could say, "Hey, I wasn't planning on going out, but yeah, I'll do it for you because you're my fucking pal." That's what you should have said.
I'm not gonna do it. So, would you rather me lie to you or just?
I would rather you lie to me and say, "Hey, I struck out." If you're really not gonna go, well, I really would rather you just get up and check. Okay, how about that? Dean's over here asking me to do all these favors for him, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. Can you print this? Can you paint this? Can you do this?
This doesn't involve
yeah, sure,
you
no
leaving
problem.
the house.
It still involves effort. It's like if I can wave a wand and the shit's done. It's hours.
And what did I do? Wait, hold on. What did I do for you yesterday?
I don't remember actually.
What did you do? For
I drew 3 stickers for us to have.
Okay.
Without you asking. And when I got to your character specifically, I was like, any requests? And you were like, I want this in there. I was like, bro, that's a whole
first off,
additional
why even
character?
ask for a request if you're not going to do it?
But I did it.
Why tell me?
That took me like another whole hour to do that.
You said, hey, if you want any requests, now is the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, can you do this request? You could have just said no.
And I did it I said it very specifically. I was like, keep in mind, it's for a sticker, so it can't be super
I didn't
complicated.
do the staff.
You have to keep a sticker in mind. So like a staff, like the sticker would bend or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
And you were like adding this whole other character on his shoulder. And I'm like, bro.
Okay, first off, that's
but
on
I
you,
did it anyway.
And I appreciated it.
Fuck me, right? Don't say all the cool shit I do for you.
I
just
literally
point out the bad stuff.
I literally said, these are amazing stickers. We will use them. I just
so amazing he didn't even remember them today.
I said we just need to be democratic about them and find out when we can use. That's exactly what I said. Here we go. Thank you. Vindication, baby. I'm with Zach. Dean should have done the solid. Thank you.
It depends.
Dean has something against Target, I think. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't want to go.
Dean,
how much did they donate to Donald Trump?
I was like, bro,
wow.
Like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not, especially like if this is a time crunch. Like,
but there's a difference.
5 of these
Look,
figures.
hang on. Let me tell you why I'm offended. There's a difference between I'm not going out and I'm not going to Target. If you would have said I'm not going out, sure. I'm not going to Target is different. As if in my mind it's like, oh, I'm going out, but fuck you. I'm not stepping foot in a fucking Target.
I see.
Exactly.
Okay, I see where you're coming from, but I meant specifically like. I'm not going anywhere, so I could guarantee you I'm not going to be going to Target.
Okay, but there's
That's
a
how
difference.
I meant it.
There's
okay,
a
I
difference.
see. I understand where you're coming from now.
Thank you.
But
I'm glad that we resolved this.
My intention was to let you know, bro, it's not happening. Like,
I see. Well, I think we lost the 2 people that were watching. But Eddie, what did you get new this week?
Yeah, I didn't get shit. And Zach didn't get the Batman.
I was expecting more Sonic figures this week. I could have swore you posted Sonic stuff in the chat this week.
I did.
He did,
We'll talk about
unfortunately.
that later.
So this
Dark
was the
timeline.
figure I mentioned last week that was in the box. This is the Build-A-Figure Mr. Freeze from the Batman and Robin, or Batman. That was Batman and Robin. Okay, my bad. Batman and Robin wave from McFarlane, and this was the Build-A-Figure. This was repainted by Chris from Vintage Rebellion from Small Talk. He hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I see a lot of people painting this on Instagram, and I'd like to give it a shot. If you want to ship it out to Canada, I'll paint it for you." So he painted it, and it finally got back to me. It's amazing. It's more chrome now because the original is like molded plastic gray. Like you could see it in the hip right there where the hip joint is, or the top of the leg joint. That's the color that it originally was. And then now it's a lot more chrome, so it's pretty sick. He even highlighted the blues, because before the blues were just a light blue, and he added a little bit of a dark blue wash to the center of them to give them more of that like that, because in the movie they're like see-through.
They're like actually cold.
Yeah. So it looks awesome, man. I can't mess with it too much because the chrome paint doesn't stick well. But it looks great on the shelf. But anytime I try to pose it, like my fingers get all chrome stuff, like chrome dust on them. So I'm like, fuck, I can't move it around too much. But just standing up and down, it's sick. Now I have to. He even sent me the head and the torso from some parts that he had because he picked up a couple of the figures. So if I get legs and the arms, I'll have the full figure again in the unpainted. So I gotta look to see if I can get those, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's sick, and I appreciate Chris a lot for doing that for me.
Those look really cool.
It's really awesome. So
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, because I saw these in person today, actually, at one of the local comic shops, and I didn't love the look of it. So this is a huge upgrade, buddy. That's awesome.
The only things that bug me with the original Build-A-Figure is the head doesn't really look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It just looks like a guy, like just a
I think the
character,
likeness
Mr.
is
Freeze.
pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see it at all. It just looks like a random guy painted blue. But I kind of wish they gave the goggles, because I completely forgot he had goggles until I got the shitty Dragon Toys figure that I have, and now I'm like, dang, I kind of wish it had either two heads with goggles or just little removable goggles. But it's still a pretty cool figure. I like it.
Very cool, dude. Very cool. To add to the comic.
Sorry, I thought this was the 1/6 when you sent the photo. I didn't realize it was the.
I have my 1/6 in the same exact pose as this.
Yeah.
Ice
good,
chill. I almost bought myself the Hot Toys the Batman today, the Pattinson Batman, because I'm getting sick of waiting for InArt. And I went to the local comic store and I told myself if it was there, I would buy it and cancel my other order. And I got there and it was actually there, and I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Wow, you lied to yourself.
I'm still going to wait. Yeah, I literally drove for an hour just to get to this comic book store to leave empty-handed and not get it. So, but you guys tell me in the chat. I don't know. Should I still wait? Should I stay? Yes, but
I'm proud of you.
I ordered it 2 years ago at this point. I'm like, and I know everybody's waiting if you're waiting for the InArt one, but 2 years is a long freaking time. I'm ready to just have the character.
I'm proud of you because Marco couldn't wait. And he bought the Hot Toys one, and I think the InArt one, in my opinion, is way better. So I'm proud of you for sticking with the InArt one.
Thanks, buddy. It was hard. It's like an addiction. I had to tell myself I don't need it. But I wanted a new this week, too, so I'm like, But yeah, no new this week for me.
You're a better man than me, bro. Philip the Fool came by this weekend and showed me his Batman, and I was like, bro, I cannot wait. I've committed to one from a fellow Patreoni when they get their InArt, so... Patrick, bro, you let me know when you're ready, and we'll make it happen. I am so excited. It looks so fucking good, and I get it. We'll talk about the InArt one. I just think for my price budget, I think I'm just gonna go with the Hot Toys and be happy with it.
What if it doesn't come for another 8 months?
I think it's easily going to be
very
another 8
likely.
months.
Yeah, very likely.
He doesn't get his for 8 more months.
I'm still waiting on Gandalf, so
yeah,
I
know.
You guys could do it.
My point is Zach. You might. I'm curious.
And I saw that they had that post from Queen Studios that said, or InArt, whatever, that said all Gandalfs are finally shipped. So I'm like,
wait, you're taking the meat off the plate.
Oh, I didn't know that was on the show sheet. My bad. I'll wait.
You're good. I'll let you introduce that when we get there. So I got some staffs, some of which I was hoping to buy for my good friend Dean, but he was right. They were on eBay, and it's funny. I bought these staffs, and I mean they weren't inexpensive, But I actually like the one that I made with what is this, polymer clay, a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. I also 3D printed my wizard a pipe, which came out really good. It's actually what my wizard's pipe looked like from like the concept art when we used to play pen and paper D&D, or I guess like Roll20 D&D. So it's coming out really good. And I did commission. It's weird. I commissioned a portrait, and the guy's like, "Yeah, it'll be done Saturday night." And he's like, I was like, "Look, you can't send me too many work in progress photos because I'd rather catch something I don't like early than right when you're done, essentially." And then I messaged him like Saturday at like 5, and I'm like, "Hey, if you have any photos, like I'll be here." And he was like, "Okay," and I never heard from him. So I don't know if he meant next Saturday, but I was like, "Damn, bro's cutting it close." But I didn't get anything. Unfortunately, I didn't pay anything to start the commission, so we'll see when that starts. But it should be the same hat, but it'll just be a portrait that looks a little bit more like my character. So excited for that.
Looks really, really good
for that. Thank you. And then I also picked up, Dina had gotten this figure. It's the NECA Strongheart. And I thought, Dean doesn't, I guess, may not believe so, but in my eyes, this looks a lot like Dean's character. And Burn Dawnbringer.
That's why I bought it.
Oh, well, when I was telling you this, you were like, "Well, I don't even like this and this and this," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I just said the only thing I didn't like was the feathers.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so I think it looks really good. So Dean's character prays to a god called Bahamut, which is a silver dragon, and I've been really wanting to, because I have a Cricut, offer commission like vinyl decals. And so I was like, I'm going to practice on this figure because he has this really big shield that doesn't have anything on it. It's just like a plain shield, and everything else on the figure is like all this heraldry all over it. And so I cut out the Bahamut symbol, and I sized it up and placed it on the shield, and it came out really good. But his chest had a big lion on it, and I was like, well, that's kind of lame. So I dremeled off the lion, and I 3D print the same logo, like just a little thicker, and glued it in. It came out really good. So I just need to paint the logo to match the armor, and I'll be really happy with it. So it's a perfect stand-in. I think these two characters on the shelf with my wizard and Dean's character, they look really good together. So definitely excited for that. Cool.
That's pretty sick, dude. Thanks, I like that. It looks really good with that symbol.
This
on
is
the chest.
Mythic.
No, this is NECA. So it's their ultimate line. So yeah, it came out really good.
Wow,
I like
the one
shield.
guy from Small Talk didn't know that. You hate to see.
Wow, you hate to see it.
I was gonna say we were gonna cover those new NECA ones, but we didn't have time for it.
Wow.
Excuse me.
This is the D&D one.
Wait, Zach, hold that up.
Is this the D&D line they're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can you see mine at all?
What?
Wait, no.
Wait, pull mine up.
Hey, we got the same pose.
It's the exact same pose. But see, I just took the feathers off. He just looks more intimidating.
Now he's got a hole on his head.
Yeah, but
someone conked his noggin. Yeah, so I started painting the little shield on the chest, but I need to make the blue match. So it's coming along pretty good, though. I kind of like it, And,
I like how you have Spider-Man and Black Suit Spider-Man having lunch back there.
Me and Vivi were playing with that. Look, I put. I have this. I think it's Ghost Rider.
Wait, single cameo.
But
hold on, wait. Do it again.
There we go. Look, they're all having lunch. They're having a chat.
That's awesome.
But we went to Hobby Lobby and we found all these little. What is it? Like food stuff for their dollhouses, and I was like, dude, let's buy a doll table and all these different things. And so I used to mess around with that stuff, so I'm gonna have a little piece of my shelf. And it's funny because I found this Ghost Rider and he has like a black leather suit, and so I put Peter Parker head on it, and it's like like in Spider-Man 3 when he's rocking the black outfit. So that came out really good. And to answer Tibbs's question, is the T-Rex done printing? It is, and it's a little smaller than I was thinking, but this is based on Sue from the Chicago Natural History Museum, which I believe Sue is found in Texas, so it's very cool. But it's a more like anatomically realistic T-Rex, so that is exciting.
It's honestly no bigger than anybody really needs.
I think a lot of people would be perfect.
I told you can't make those jokes. It's
That's
not funny
right.
when you make them.
I also got.
I'll show myself out.
I also got from the new Civil War movie in theaters. This is the Iron Man Mark 46. I have passed this figure up on the shelf like no less than 5 times. And I feel so stupid because it was like $15 at Target at one point, and I still passed it up. I ended up paying full retail for it, but it's a super cool figure. There are some paint inaccuracies, but for what it is and the really excellent photo printed Tony Stark head sculpt, it's fucking awesome.
I was gonna say, Zach, the ones you passed on didn't have this paint. They had like the regular red, and it didn't have a Tony sculpt.
No, I've passed on this exact figure.
Oh, this exact one. Okay.
Yeah, because this one just came out, I think, like a month ago, 2 months ago,
Okay.
and I've passed it up so many times. But it's a cool figure. It'll go nice on my. I'm actually so excited for this garage. It's like literally, we're doing the flooring on this weekend. We ended up deciding to do it, and then the paint should be done tomorrow. And so I think on as early as Monday, we're gonna start moving stuff in, and then do the full move by Saturday. So.
Nice.
Very excited for that.
Yeah.
So we'll update you guys with the video. Hopefully this weekend there will be a video either on a vinyl project that I'm doing or the garage. So stay tuned for that. But we are going to get into the news. We're 30 minutes into the show. We haven't gotten the news yet, but there's not a lot to talk about today, so we're still going to be right on time. But get it or not, we'll go through these figures, tell you whether we're going to get them or not. And we'll start with this. Eddie, you mentioned it earlier, but InArt has updated us that we are pleased to inform you all that Gandalf the Grey 1/6 scale collectible figures have passed QC and have been shipped from our storage facilities to our partners as of April 13th, 2024. There could still be a slight delay between the time it takes our partners to receive their figures and then to ship to customers. If you haven't received your figure, please contact your retailer or the person you brought from to confirm your delivery schedule. We would like to express our gratitude for your continued support and patience. So, Eddie, where are you at on this process with your Gandalf?
I have no idea. When you got yours, or like a bunch of people that I knew were getting theirs, I messaged the retailer that I purchased from, which is Cosmic Chase. To be fair, I ordered this very, very late. I don't remember why. I think I was considering skipping on the line, and then I was like, why the hell? I can't skip on this line. So I ordered it really, really late. I've ordered from Cosmic Chase before for statues, like Queen Studios statues, which I've always gotten fine, no issues or anything. And when I messaged him when everybody was getting theirs, and he said he had no ETA of when they're getting their shipment. So I have to assume I'm on the last freaking shipment. So I have to message him again and see if he has any further info on it. But usually, I believe Cosmic Chase ships to the US first, and then he'll message me with tracking. So they don't message me when they get it, because they're based in, I want to say they're in Singapore. So they won't message me until it gets from Singapore to the US. So I think that's why I have no info on it yet. But yeah, I'm hoping that nothing goes wrong with it. I don't think it should. He's pretty reputable in the statue community, at least. So, but from now on, all InArt orders are either going to go through Kit. Actually, probably just Kit, like, because I don't want to have to deal with waiting this long anymore. So, yeah.
Badfish, that fucking story you put in the private chat might be the most fucking wild thing I've ever read. I need you to read that right now, please. Like, I had to read it 3 times to make sure I understood what it was that you were typing.
So looking at that staff that you made, the clay staff, Jesus. It reminded me of a story that I heard today. That basically there were these kids, I think they were at like a play, like one of those Funville sort of things, and a kid came up to one of the guardians there and we're like, oh, look at this wand I made, and like handed it to the parent, and this clay wand, and they're like, oh, how cool. And then they realize, oh, this isn't clay, this is shit, and it's some other kid's shit that the kid made that they took a dump underneath a table. And they
how do you form that? How did they harden it?
I assume it was like a nuggie that was
They're
already
like, man, I wish we had some clay. Like,
Oh, look at under the table there.
Well, poop is
Smells
kind of
weird.
clay-like. Pop out a nug really quick.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think another kid just took a dump and then another kid found it. Is what I think.
How do you pick it up and not smell it and be like, this isn't clay?
Conquer says, I ordered my Gandalf from Spec Fiction and they told me my Gandalf will ship at the end of this month. It's their last batch. There we go. This is big. This is, I think, the biggest story this week that we've had in a while. But the InArt Batman has been released. And let me see if I can find the unboxing video. It was kind of weird the way it was uploaded. There was a few people who, I guess, somehow got a hold of the video. I'm not quite sure how they did that, but they got a hold of the official InArt unboxing and then reposted it. And I mean, I really don't understand how they did that, but yeah, let me see if I can find it. I remember there was at least one channel that I knew, but I'm curious what you guys think of it. I think as collectors, I think we're really eating right now. I think, both options are really good. I think there are some things that I like a little better on each of them. I think overall, though, I think InArt has given us a really good figure. There's still people that are complaining about some of the proportions with the head sculpt. I lined up the figure against sort of like an anatomic reference rather, that you would use on like for drawing, and it didn't really seem that odd. I think it's just the armor perhaps a bit bulky at the shoulders, which isn't inaccurate. There's a lot of people that were complaining that the arms are too long, but again, comparing to an anatomic reference, it's really not that bad. I think the weirdest part for me was the base. And I know with Will's video, did I not put the picture? God damn it. With Will's stream from a few days ago, they had Justin on, and Justin mentioned that he had given them advice as to some ideas for the base, which ended up being like an XY magnetic sliding track with still just those two smaller magnets. And I just don't know that that's the most elegant solution. I think my initial gut reaction is just obviously a bigger magnet, but Justin had mentioned that wouldn't be cost efficient. But this is what that looked like. So you basically have these magnets that slide on tracks, and you can position them under your figure's feet. And again, from what we've heard, the word is that larger magnets just were not possible, but it just seems very inelegant. You have to open the base to do this adjustment, and to me it's just an extra piece that can break. I'm not saying that it will. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of stress on these joints, but overall I think the figure looks good. Like I said, I'm personally getting the Hot Toys one. It has nothing to do with the quality of the figures. I do think that InArt is better. And I'll leave a little bit of meat on the bone because there's a lot to talk about here, but when we circle back, there'll probably be a little bit more that I'll touch on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people arguing just left, right, and center about this figure. And it's like with their Joker figure, there was a clear and obvious winner between, what was better. The Hot Toys one from fucking, how long ago
Not
was
to
that?
Marco, though.
Yeah, the DX12.
The DX12.
Oh, that's cool.
DX11.
That was pretty cool.
DX11.
Yeah,
DX11.
while Dean's talking, by the way, I'm just going to play this in the background.
And then InArt's Joker, it was like, oh yeah, this is clearly superior. Mm. With this one, it's such a fucking fine line that I really think unless you're gonna get the rooted hair, which on a Batman, it's like, why? Like, it's Batman. He wears the cowl. You're never gonna fucking. At least I would never show him that way. But anyway, unless you're gonna do that, like, I feel like the differences are so negligible that it's like either one you're gonna be happy with. Like Zach said, there's pros and cons to each one. I don't know. It's
Just look how complicated this base is. Like every time you're gonna change your pose, you're like unscrewing the base. I mean, it is not a terrible idea. I just think if you're gonna spend the money to design that, I don't know, and not only to design it but to produce it, I don't know if it's just more prohibitive to put more magnets or one larger magnet. And,
Yeah.
I mean, this is purely speculation. I don't know. That's that in action, and we'll keep this going in the background.
not a
But
Batman
Ben,
hater.
what do you
I've
think
come,
about this?
I've come around on Batman, Safel. How dare you?
I do agree.
on Batman? Sorry.
Oh my god. I do agree with JB. This does seem a little over-engineered for the base. I think that's a little funny, but I feel like a lot of people have been feeling like me. They ordered this figure quite a long time ago from InArt. We all suspect that it'll be at least slightly better than the Hot Toys one. But this is their opportunity to beat the competition truly in terms of a direct one-to-one comparison of these characters. So I am excited to see what both look like side by side, potentially in my own collection at some point or in others. But for me, I still want to wait. I do think patience is a virtue. It was hard for me to choose against the Hot Toys version today. I mean, I'm surrounded by Hot Toys in this room. I love them, but I still feel like I want the best representation of this character because I really did enjoy the film. Sean Forrester says, why can't the magnets be in the shoes and the base be made out of metal like a fridge door? I agree with that. Like a metal plate, right? He's just attached to everything. Even when they showed them sliding the magnets there, it didn't really look like the feet locked onto the base all that well. It's a strange kind of gimmicky feel to it. And that's assuming that you even use the base. To be honest, most of my figures stand here without it. As soon as I took my Joker from InArt off the base, he never fell over again. It was the base that seemed to make him tip, which was super strange. So for this character, I am very excited to get this in my own collection. It does feel like, with only really having 4 releases now from InArt, that the quality is there. So I think the question of quality hopefully will start to go away a little bit, and I think it'll have more to do around the question of, okay, how soon are we going to get this stuff then? How long do we have to wait? Because you can easily still be a Hot Toys supporter and an InArt one because they only give you maybe 1 or 2 figures a year at this point, if we're lucky. As I said, I'm expecting that I won't see my figure in hand from 1/6 kit until like January, which is crazy. That's getting to be a very, very long time to wait. It does make me really excited for other characters that have been hyped, though, like the Christopher Reeve Superman. I've got the original Hot Toys one, and while I love that figure, it's showing its age, and so I'm excited that they're getting into some characters that I can't easily necessarily get somewhere else. But at the same time, Hot Toys is also revisiting, it seems like, a lot of their past hits, and some of those figures that were considered grails, it seems like they might be going back to some of those. So choose wisely. Be patient, I think, is the hardest message for my own self, but the one I'd want to give anybody, especially new collectors that are watching, because Hot Toys might reissue some of these things, and InArt will also give us some pretty crazy good shit over time. I think you can support both companies. But yeah, I think competition is fun, and it's exciting to see how different these are, considering they're supposed to be the same character and the same light and all of those things. I can't believe how much bigger the light is, though, actually. That was pretty surprising.
Yeah, we'll go back to that photo here. One thing also which really strikes me as just perhaps a bit lazy and odd, Hot Toys got the light color completely wrong. Theirs is like a cool white, and in the film it's very clearly a warm white LED, and so InArt has that done correctly. So if that is important to you, keep that in mind. Though I have seen a video of someone modifying the Hot Toys. It's not impossible. It's just, should we have to do that? Who knows? Billy Badfish, tell me about this.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, it is, I think, either way, it's a win, whichever one you get. And they're pretty close. Yes, the light is a bit different. That's kind of the biggest difference. Otherwise, the 2 figures look so similar. There's a little difference of pattern on the chest and stuff like that. But I think the size of the light it's almost better with the Hot Toys with the smaller one if you're concerned about space. But some people will want this larger one because they want that bigger presence, right? So honestly, I like the look of both of them. Like you said, that is a bit more accurate though with the light. It is definitely more accurate. You can tell. I can remember it now from the film. But the I think it was Mark Phillips said in the chat at one point, in Patreon chat, at least now you can. Oh, that's neat. At least you can change the magnet out. You can pull you can unscrew the rail system and put your own large magnet in, at least compared to the Joker. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to like somehow crack that thing open. But it is a really weird choice. There's just so much more engineering time into that, and you would think the cost would be more for all that rail system. But otherwise, I think the biggest thing is really the price. If it were for me, like I think they both look so good. Like you kind of look at the stitching in some of the pictures is a bit different on the Hot Toys and between the two as well. But I don't know. I kind of seeing them side by side, I would have the cowl on anyways. I kind of like the Hot Toys cowl actually more, but I don't know. I've already got the Hot Toys on order, and that was mainly price for me because the InArt was just with the price for the deluxe Hot Toys. You could get the Bat cycle as well. We did all that analysis way back. You could get this cycle as well. I didn't do that, but it was just way more, and it still looks really good to me. So.
And your opinion is biased because you bought the Hot Toys, so ignore everything he just said.
Well, it is it's part of it's the price, like I said, and I don't need a sculpted, or I don't need a rooted hair for a Batman. I'm gonna have the cowl on him, so that's another factor. Why pay the extra price for the tailoring on Hot Toys are good enough in my opinion from what I was seeing from the prototype and stuff. So the difference wasn't good enough for me.
And I like what Gare Bear said here too. He said, like, I've got to have the Hot Toys version and the InArt version. I just love Batman. And like, there are people out there like that too. I get that. I've been a big Batman fan my entire life. What I was worried about was that the figure was too close for them both to be displayed in my own collection, because they are shockingly similar. Like, if you take off the name of which company is which, I think some people would have a hard time telling you which one is which. I think so.
That's cap. For real.
You don't.
And I'm mad that I'm saying
I love you, Ben.
It like that, but that's.
I don't.
Eddie, what do we think about this
Canadian take?
I like them both. I think they're cool.
I don't look. I've been very vocal. Well, I've been somewhat vocal about the fact that I like the InArt more, but I also think it's just because I'm biased toward. I really like InArt's figures so far, but I do think that they are both good figures, and I think either one you got, you're going to be happy. I don't think that one's better than the other in any like way that makes the other one suck, but there are things about the InArt that I like more, and there are some things about the Hot Toys that I like more, and I think it's one of those cases where if I could take both of them and put them together, it'd be the perfect Batman figure. Like, I liked how InArt is so good at tailoring that they get the stitching so small and like the fine detail, and then I prefer the shape of the Hot Toy, or I mean I prefer the shape of the InArt of the torso, but on the Hot Toy I like the bigger arms. The arms seem a bit slim on the InArt one. I like how in the InArt one you have the double neck collar thing that I didn't notice the Hot Toys didn't have, and so there are things about both of them that I think are good. The head sculpt doesn't matter to me because if I did get it, I wasn't going to use the head sculpt at all, so that didn't even occur to me. I do think if you're going to use the head sculpt, go InArt, because I think that one looks better in my opinion, sculpted or rooted. I think the InArt one looks better, but I think people are going to be happy with either. I don't think that it's this or that, and this is the most underwhelming InArt figure that I think we've gotten so far, but that could be my opinion based on the character, just because like I don't care too much for this Batman. It's cool, but it's not like I'm not super hyped or anything. So for me, this is like their least like overwhelming figure. I just think it's good. I don't think it's like amazing like the Gandalf or the Joker. and like I think Paul is going to be. I think those are all pretty amazing. So, yes, Ben, it's a nothing burger. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think
that's it. Yeah.
One of the
good take.
Or some of the concerns that I have, rather, I don't really like this Bruce Wayne portrait. I just don't like it. It doesn't look good to me, which is odd because I really do like the cowled portrait and the sort of the night out portrait where you have the face paint and the messy hair. One thing that also strikes me as odd, just how well weathered the Gandalf was, is it seems like there's really not a lot of weathering on this outfit, especially on the cape. When you look at the Hot Toys cape, which admittedly is not a great material, it feels very cheap, but at least it did have a weathering application. From these videos here, it looks like, first night out with this cape, and I think the figure does suffer because of that. Another concern that I think I have, in addition to the base possibly being a point of failure long term, when you assemble the figure, you're clipping in the belt, you're clipping in these small buckles for the holster, and while I'm certain InArt probably used die-cast materials on those, at that scale they just don't tend to hold up very well. So these buckles here and the ones that are going to be on the main belt do concern me. The detail on the InArt and some of these parts, like the wrists here, the wrist needles or whatever you call those, looks fantastic. I mean, there's no doubt that I think the sculpting is a step above. But overall, I think we as collectors are winning. These are some comparison photos. In this case, excuse me, Hot Toys is on the left, InArt is on the right, and I think both of these are fine figures. I certainly think, like you guys all pointed out, there are good and bad things about each of these. And then with these sets of photos, we have Hot Toys now on the right. And I think Eddie pointed it out really, really elegantly, but just the silhouette here in the shoulders, going down into the arms, you do have that body proportion, which, from what InArt had always told us, each figure does get a custom body and each figure does have a lot of attention paid to that silhouette, where the Hot Toys, it's kind of, I believe, God, was it Doc Smizzle was taking apart his to remove the fat suit. I don't think it went very well, but Hot Toys uses sort of a generic body and then pads it with a somewhat tailored bodysuit, fat suit rather. There have been some complaints I've seen about the size of the knee pads on the Hot Toys in person. When Philip pointed it out, it really didn't look that bad to me, but these are both really excellent figures. Like Eddie said, the tailoring on the Hot Toys, the stitching is going to be a little bit larger. It's going to be a little bit more fine on the InArt. And that is actually quite noticeable in person. Mm-hmm. And of course, as mentioned, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of like the padding is, yes, the stitching is more fine, but I kind of like that the padding is bigger, almost like thicker looking on the Hot Toys there. I kind of like that. But here you can really see the difference in the patterning on the chest piece. The Hot Toys is very like almost a carbon fiber, while the InArt is much more like a brushed.
Like
it has like this square pattern, but it's much finer. You can see on the right there. But
also, I think, I know that this isn't an important display option, but I don't believe the InArt comes with the squirrel suit, right? The flying squirrel suit.
No, it doesn't.
I know that not a lot of people are going to use that. But
that's a good point.
I always, I think that anytime you have a character like this, right, when you're including every single Riddler card, every single accessory, and trying to include as much of those accessories as possible, that was a scene in the movie that happened, and I think leaving something like that out when your closest competitor is adding it, I think it's a little bit of a mistake. But
especially when they threw all that stupid card shit in there. Like, I get that it's cool to have, but like, I'm never gonna use any of that card shit. So if they would have thrown in the suit, that would have been way cooler.
Yeah, that kind of felt like just they kind of tossed that in there. The Hot Toys base is like the deluxe one with it's like the edge of the roof or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's really cool. I really liked that as well. So
yeah, definitely.
I know accuracy is important as well. Like, do you guys prefer having the slightly smaller light versus the bigger one? Like, even though the other one's a little more accurate, like, is that do you think that would be a deal breaker for people? Like, let us know in the comments too. Like, do you prefer a slightly smaller like light here, even though it's slightly more accurate to go with the other
So I
option.
saw a comment, and it kind of made me laugh a little bit. Obviously, the light is quite large in the film, and so the bigger the light, the more accurate in scale it's going to be. And I saw someone kind of singing the praise about InArt, but when I asked them, like, is it actually this size in the movie or is it larger? Their answer was, well, it's just more accurate. And I don't know that more accurate is the same as being accurate. So while you can give them points for making it larger, you know, if it's still 10% too small or 20% too small, it almost begs the question, like, why not make it truly accurate? But I think both look good. I really prefer the weathering on the InArt version. I think this subtle rust is really, really beautiful. And obviously, if it's a light that you want to turn on in your display, having it be that warm white is, like, I think the most. I mean, it could be smaller than Hot Toys, and the fact that it's putting out the right color light is, I think, more important. So
well, and they go back to the light more times in the film than you see the bat bike. Even it's more of a pinnacle accessory for this character.
Yeah,
that's why I was more interested in that over the bat bike. Like, and this scale, it all depends on what your collection. I think, like I sort of said earlier, that if you want the larger one, you can, if you have the room for it, people will probably prefer that. But it was quite a bit more pricey as well for that one. So.
Yeah. Safel says we got the Bat Gamer laptop, though. Better replacement for the squirrel suit. I don't know. I feel like the laptop was kind of... It was there. It was obviously important to the film, but I feel like the more memorable moment was the squirrel suit. At least in my opinion. I could be wrong.
Neither of them came with a thumb drive, did they? Hate to see it.
I do not
That would have been a creepy little accessory. That would have been cool.
Now, these are the night out portraits compared. As mentioned, I do think that the InArts is maybe like 5 to 10% too small. However, I would say that likely the Hot Toys is perhaps a bit large as well. But I think that's just a common thing with Hot Toys. Yeah, this is that comparison. So, you know, I think you get what you pay for with the InArt, the more premium version. I think even the sculpted InArt I think looks really good. So. Certainly as collectors, we have a lot of choice. There's going to be people selling their Batman Hot Toys to pick up their InArt tab when it comes in. There's an opportunity to get one for retail or below. There's also, you know, people that are going to be very excited that have been waiting, like Ben, for the InArt. So for you guys that ordered it, which version did you get, if you don't mind me asking?
You're muted, Ben. Your mic cut out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Yeah.
I think you're just muted, Ben.
No, he was unmuted and then he still couldn't hear him.
Oh,
am I good now? Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh. That was weird. I don't know how I did that. I got the premium InArt version, which was the sculpted hair version. Didn't end up doing the rooted hair because honestly, I do think I'll probably display it with the cowl more, just to begin with, and yeah, so that's when I went.
There we go. Eddie, did you get this one or no?
I had the deluxe Hot Toy on order with the bat signal, and I canceled it when it was delayed. And I'm glad I did because I just don't care to have him in the collection. I think he's cool in the suit, but I don't need it. At first, I was kind of regretting that decision, and then I was like, I don't really care. So give it to somebody that wants it, you know.
There we go.
Yeah, I went with the deluxe with signal, and those one Eddie ordered, but I kept it. So
I want one so bad.
Yeah,
I regret not ordering it.
I think you'll be able to get one.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Once they're both out.
Yeah, I have the one coming from Patrick, but seeing it in person though, first off, it was really cool because I got to see my bat sticky bomb gun in the holster in person. I've seen plenty of photos, but to see it kind of placed in the holster. Now? That's what I call it, man. It's my sticky bomb gun. Anyways, let's move on here. We have the Armored Batman 2.0. I would argue and say this is like a 3.0 because they did the Armored Batman, then the Armored Batman Battle Damage, then the Armored Batman Black Chrome. I would maybe even a 4.0, but this is a die-cast or at least partially die-cast version of this figure. And I will be honest, I really think Hot Toys did this figure well the first time. I owned it, sold it to Dean. I've been bugging him to buy it back ever since. This is a fucking awesome figure.
You want to buy it back
that, well, and the first one obviously didn't come with that kryptonite spear, which is kind of odd. At any rate, Hot Toys does the typical Hot Toys thing that they do, where they show you how bad the first one looked and how good the new one looks. And honestly, again, it is. I still really like the old one as well. I mean, I'm sure this one is certainly better. Having parts of it being die cast are not, not terrible. There's that. At least we know this time it's Affleck. There was that whole thing recently where the stunt actor said it was supposed to be his portrait in the mask, and I think Eddie was like BS. But what do y'all think about this?
Yeah, so I still own this figure. The first one, obviously, because it's so fucking cool. I love Armored Batman. I just think it was a great. As someone who's not a big Batman fan, watching that movie, I was like, man, Batman kind of fucking kicks a lot of ass. So for me, this is kind of like my first, like, oh, okay, I get it. I get Batman now.
Yeah.
The only thing, I really don't care too much for, especially in this, for a diecast. It's not like an Iron Man where the whole thing is diecast and it looks beautiful and the figure feels amazing. You're only getting bits and pieces, and it's cool, sure, but it's not a huge draw for me to like, oh, I'm going to get rid of my current one and get this one. But if they actually improve the articulation on this thing, because the other one is basically a fucking
like a brick.
statue. You can't do shit with that figure. Now, granted, I think he looks so fucking imposing just fucking standing there like a fucking badass.
Yeah.
I love that figure. It's so cool. But the articulation they're actually going to have to do something about because, yeah, that figure is basically, just a brick. So that's one thing I would like to see actually improved. Now, I'm a little confused. Maybe you guys can help me. Does this come with both battle damaged and regular parts?
If you get the deluxe version.
Or is it two different SKUs?
Yeah. So let me add this in. I had forgotten to put this. So the regular SKU is $300. The deluxe SKU is $370. These are April to September 2025, and the difference is with the deluxe you get that battle damage portrait, the battle damaged armor, the diorama display base, and the LED kryptonite spear. I think it's kind of a bit lame to put the kryptonite spear behind a paywall, but it is what it is. So yeah, there is two SKUs for this.
Well, he doesn't use the spear until he's fucked up, right?
Yes.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
I guess. I give you that, yeah.
Yeah, this is honestly
give you one of
pretty
these.
fucking cool. And I know there's a lot, thank you. I know there's a lot of people who are still after this figure. I get asked pretty often if I'll sell mine. I'm like, no. So that's probably a lot of people are happy about this. I like that they also give you some new faceplates because the first one only came with one, with his mouth open. This one has a closed mouth. Kind of the mouth that it originally came with, and then like a more angry mouth, I guess. So 3 instead of just the one weird one. I got that third party closed mouth. The
1/6 one.
Yeah. Yeah, I have almost really nothing negative to say about this. I think it's great.
Eddie, you made a really good point. We saw some people kind of complaining that the whole suit wasn't diecast, and you made a really good point on Facebook. Do you want to chime in on that one?
I don't know if I made the point. I think I was going to make the point, but I think someone posted it first, and I might have agreed with them. I don't remember, but people were asking why the whole thing isn't diecast, because the thighs and the wrist gauntlets aren't diecast, and the feet, and it's probably because of to help the joints. Like if you do the gauntlets diecast, it's going to be really tough on the elbow joints, and the same thing with the thighs. It'll be really tough on the hip joint if you're trying to pose them in certain ways. So I'm guessing that's why they opted out of those specific areas. But to me, it doesn't really bug me. I think it's cool that you get the die cast. I don't really need it. It's more of like a cool feature. So to me, I don't even care that there's missing parts. But dude, I am so excited for this figure, especially because the InArt Superman from PVS is on pre-order. So like these two together, like I don't even really need InArt to do this. I think they said they're gonna do Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman from BVS, but I don't know, like that. You know, they've already had a lot of changes in their plans, so if it doesn't happen, dude, I'm happy with this. Like those two together are gonna look so friggin' sick, dude. I was really excited when I saw it, because I didn't have the original one. My brother does, so I've got to mess with the figure before, and like you guys said, like it doesn't pose for shit. So even though arguably my favorite pose is like just having him stand there looking up at Superman, because I think that's like one of the coolest parts in the movie when he's staring up in the sky at him. But I'm very excited. I don't have it on order yet. I'm waiting until Friday is payday, and I'll probably pre-order it. But I'm definitely gonna get the deluxe because I actually do like the base. I need the spear. I don't necessarily need damage parts, but I do like that the damage helmet has Ben Affleck's like half of his portrait under there with the rolling eyes. I think that's cool. So I am gonna go with the deluxe. But yeah, I'm super excited. I really like these new bases they're doing without the deluxe, like the circular base with the lights in them. I like that. That's the same theme as the Flash Batman. So like you can have them posed together, and they're kind of it'll go well with the other figures, even though they're from different movies. So, dude, I'm super excited, and I'm way more of a Ben Affleck Batman fan than I am Pattinson. So this is hype for me, dude. The more that like I think about it, BVS is one of my favorite superhero movies, and I know people are like love hate with that movie and Snyder's direction, and I don't blame people for it. It's just the more that I watch, especially the extended edition, like that's one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. So
the extended edition gave so much more story and context to their reason why they even fight, which I do think really changed that movie for me, especially, and it did make it one of my favorite films for a Batman film. So I'm with you on that one, Eddie, for sure. This is one of those weird ones for me where I think like when you look back at the previous releases, you know, people had to buy both versions in order to get both looks, which is a pain in the ass and quite a lot of money. This is also technically kind of paywalled behind the deluxe. Like if you want the battle damaged version and maybe you have the kind of unbattle damaged version from the past, then you have to spend more money in order to get this battle damaged one. So it's kind of like it's a win and a loss almost all in the same breath. But I would say this is one of those examples where a deluxe is actually worth, in my opinion, that additional money. You do get both looks out of it. I think that's pretty cool. It makes me wonder, you know, as we progressively see more 2.0s, 3.0s, 4.0s, whatever you want to call this, how many more figures we're going to see that are coming with die-cast parts. Because I feel like in a lot of ways, when collectors talk about die-cast, we think of die-cast as a very like premium material, right? Which is fine. I mean, it feels cool in hand. For me, like if something feels heavy in my hands, it feels more premium, like automatically. When somebody who's a new collector comes into my collection room and they've never held a die-cast Iron Man, that's one of the first figures that I hand them, because again, it feels quality. But how soon are we going to see things like the Mandalorian with die-cast armor, or Bucky Barnes the Winter Soldier with a die-cast arm, or, you know, things that make collectors feel like they need to buy it, but do you really? Is it really that important? When it's 4 feet away in my collector display, you can't really tell the difference. Even in the photos where you see the past version and the newest version side by side, I honestly can't tell the difference whether one's die-cast or not. And so some of you guys out there claim that you can. I can't see it. So I don't think, to me, that's worth necessarily extra money or a reason to revisit these past releases. I did think the black chrome version was actually one of the coolest ones that has come out. But originally, the battle damage version was also a Hot Toys exclusive. So unlike other reissues that happen that kind of diminish some of the value of past, I still think that that old one, being that exclusive, you know, Hot Toys edition one, will still retain some of its value either way. the cool thing about the battle damage one on this one is kind of what Eddie was mentioning as well, is that you can see the Ben Affleck likeness under like the broken piece and under the left eye, if you're looking at this photo kind of the way I am. In the past edition, it had the lit eye, so which technically wasn't actually screen accurate. This is technically more screen accurate, and with the rolling eye system, you can really get that kind of, you know, opposing look with Superman. The other question I have is, are we going to see Hot Toys revisit the BVS Superman? Because in these photos, you actually see him standing on the chest of Superman as well. And is this a response to InArt? Is this a response to say, we're getting this out before you guys even think about releasing an armored Batman? Like you guys mentioned, InArt has that BVS Superman coming. We already know that's happening. Is Hot Toys going to try and get ahead of that as well and release another updated version of their Cavill? Be curious to see.
Good point for that. If the only way they would make me order that BVS Superman, if they redid one, is if they did a sculpt with him like grinning with the cut on his cheek when he, so I could have Batman standing on top of him like cutting his face. That would be the only way that I would, because otherwise I'm good with the InArt. What do I need the Hot Toys one for? I got the other one on order. But if they did that, you know, and then the fact that they're doing more like face emotion sculpts, like, dude, if they really nailed that, man, that would be sick.
Yeah, how dare you make me bleed my own blood?
Draw the line says this announcement feels like a defensive move from Hot Toys, which goes right in line with what Ben was saying. Badfish, what do we think about this?
I think the definitely with that defensive move comment, I think InArt maybe not shot themselves in the foot, but it kind of gives Hot Toys an opportunity with that list that they created of, oh, here we're making all these figures. Hot Toys could 2.0 or, as you said, 3.0 kind of in this case, whatever they want on that list if they've already made it, or beat them to the punch basically on a lot of those. And like Eddie said, they've changed their plans so many times now. It's hard to know if InArt's even going to touch this at this point. But yeah, this is almost, to me, if you missed the first one, this is a great way to get it. And if you have the original, I don't think you need this. I was going to ask about the damage battle parts, but you guys answered it there while I was away. I had to step away there for a second. But yeah, it looks great. But yeah, I've actually never I've seen like maybe 45 minutes of this movie, maybe a little less, because I had a real problem a couple of years ago where I would try to watch a movie with my wife, and it would be at 9:30. It didn't matter, 9 o'clock at night, I would fall asleep every time trying to watch a movie. And there was like Ready Player One is another version, like another movie I just tried to watch, and I just never got through the first half hour. But I'll eventually go back and revisit. I want to revisit the whole Snyderverse now that knowing now as well the extended version of this is the better one to see, is good to know. But I also will see the better version of I kind of want to, I don't know if it's a sick torture, but I almost want to try watch the original Snyder cut, or the original cut before they did this, the
Whedon cut.
The Whedon cut. Sorry, yeah, just to see how bad it actually is. But yeah,
it's pretty bad. Don't even waste your time, man.
I was gonna say, at least I can save some time now that I haven't seen them pretty much any. I've seen all the Wonder Woman stuff from this whole line for some reason, and then Aquaman, but yeah, never Batman and the Superman one. I just never got to.
Yeah, who was the big bad in that one, Eddie? Again, the Joss Whedon cut. Then they changed him so dramatically for the Snyder. Steppenwolf. He was so much cooler in the Zack Snyder cut, like so much cooler. I think the only other question I have for you guys, and maybe it's a bit of a hot take from me, but like, do you guys like the USB powered bases and accessories? Because to me, I don't want to have to run cords for this shit. And like, I don't even know how I would do it in the current display that I have. So it ends up being like an upgraded feature that I can't use. Like, there's gotta be another way to light this shit without having to run cords.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? So Lane on unboxing last night, he bought Lane the Legend. He bought a battery bank, like, you know, those little like phone charger things, and he was able to power it with that. So I mean, obviously there is still a cord, but it's not a cord that's running from you know,
like to a wall socket.
6 feet. Yeah, it's 6 feet in the air to this, and I mean, granted, it's still not. I think as elegant as, you know, doing something like a where you have your smart device being able to control multiple things, but I mean, it was a pretty smart idea. So I mean, you could try
like
that.
Rechargeable, anything that's like, okay, I have to take it out and plug it in for an hour, but then it lasts 3 days turned on, or like anything that's other than just cords. I don't know. I don't like cords and displays.
I mean, would you keep this lit all the time? Like, is that your goal?
I usually keep my whole display lit on like all the time. So yeah, like
no, but
if
the
I have
specifically, because I don't think you could really do that with Hot Toys' old setup. You'd have to.
No, you'd have to put the batteries in. That's what I mean. But at least you could put batteries in without running cords, right? And that's like
yeah, but that lasts all of like 15 minutes though. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Is part of the USB though?
I don't know. It doesn't say
I think the
it
eyes
there.
are just battery. I think only the spear is USB.
The spear is. That's interesting.
Run through the base, yeah.
Which, when I saw that the spear was USB, I was kind of annoyed because I was like, where's the wire coming out of? The back end of it?
The bottom, and you hide it with the cape kind of on the right here, I would say, is the best thing
tuck it up his arm.
Yeah. I don't know that I love that, having the wire out of the spear, but I almost prefer, like, it just having really, like, vibrant green paint and not even having the light up, like, because they can do some cool green paint to make it look bright like that. Like Adriana has a Starbucks cup that glows in the dark, dude.
That would be cool. Glow in the dark
looks really vibrant green even when it's not like glowing, and I'm like, that's a pretty sick, like, if they could do that, they could do it on the spear. So I almost would rather have that.
Wonderland.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. Could probably do that.
It's
I mean,
not
they
that
do
big a
sell
deal.
that type of paint. I mean, it just realistically, I mean, it's you know, probably a neon green paint, right? It's, you know,
yeah,
could be done. Could be done. Maybe a future commission there.
Yeah,
do they show any pictures and without it lit? Probably not, right?
No, they typically Photoshop it on.
Yeah, and they make it look way better than it will even look lit.
Because I'm curious, it might look all right
That's
unlit
true, Eddie.
anyways, but...
Eddie, I'm giving you a point for that. I'm just trying to fix
Wow.
something real quick. But you're going to fucking point for that.
I want to try to figure out that the power pack. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and it worked really well. I mean, he had just a little bit of trouble setting up at first, but I mean, if you think about it, like those, you know, look, if Oilers was in the chat, I'm sure he could probably math something for me. But I mean, if you think about it, like the amount of charge that those little batteries have versus the amount of energy it would take to charge a phone, like I would be curious. That might be a fun video for your channel, Ben. Like how long you could run, like continuously, something like that. Because I feel like, you know, if some of these are like 3,000 mega amps or million, I don't know what they are, amps or something, you could run, I would imagine you could probably run a tiny little, those two little eyes, or I guess if they're not USB, but you could probably run something off that for quite a while if it's LED. So,
True.
Just an idea. Yes. So do we think that Hot Toys is going to release the regular Batman, the Affleck,
I don't know,
black and gray suit?
Yeah.
Well, actually, they just did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They upgraded it.
Yeah, they did do that.
Yep. It was a much bigger.
I thought you were talking about Superman.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Okay, what about Superman? Do we think they're going to come back?
I
to
don't
Superman?
know about that one.
I could see them doing another Superman.
Maybe if they did an artisan one, but they still haven't done a short-haired artisan figure. So,
well, because the last Henry Cavill that was available as he was being slowly taken out of DC, I believe, was the black suit version, the Nightmare suit. So, like at that point, when I found out he was no longer going to be Superman, that was now the most available Superman representation. So it wouldn't be totally surprising for them to be like, here's another blue and red one with some updated paint apps to the face. Look how good we are in comparison to InArt.
I really hope they do that with that face that I was talking about.
With the scar, or like the blood,
That would be cool.
It wouldn't be a hard custom, like outside of obviously the expression on the face, but to paint like a bloodline wouldn't really be that difficult. You know, if push comes to shove and you needed help to do that, this is really not that bad. Let's see. What
I see where the wire goes into the spear. You have to
Where is
zoom in on the picture. If you see I don't know if you have you probably don't have a picture of just.
Oh, you
the
can see right
base,
here
but you can see it goes up there, but it actually goes about halfway where that first big notch is. So it's hard to see, but it goes in.
Like
just,
the notch that's on the picture on the left.
See the largest silver part right in the middle of the picture? That's where it goes in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So right where his hand is, so you could wrap it around his arm or whatever if you're trying to hide it.
So yeah, they've got it where he's holding it like up like that. You can hide it still, which is pretty good.
There we go. Oh look, they tagged Oilers. Well, there we go. Let's move on here. Now, these are the noir versions of the Mondo 1/6 Batman figures. So I think, let me switch over to Big Bad Toy Store because they have the pre-orders here, but they're $220 each for the Mr. Freeze, the Batman, and the Joker, and the Phantasm is $189. And these, I believe, are limited to 1,000 pieces each, and they're Big Bad Toy Store exclusives. I think they're cool. I feel like this is like the third or fourth time they've remade this Batman, so I don't know how. It seems very niche, I guess. They look good, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really match. I guess if you're getting all of these in the same wave, I think that would be best, but I don't think it would look great on the shelf, being how colorful all the other figures are. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, these are definitely for like hardcore Batman, the animated collectors, or noir Batman style figures. Like, I feel like these are like stand box, especially if they're that limited. But they're cool. I'm actually more excited to see what Ben has to say because Ben actually does collect these specific figures. So
yeah.
I think this is boring as hell. To be fully,
wow.
to be fully honest. I think they're super boring to look at. The other ones are super colored and vibrant. They have the cell shading that goes right back to the original series where it was drawn on black paper, and so the colors really like pop against things that are like black toned, like the cape, those blues and everything that you see. These to me look like they're unpainted. I think the only appeal here is the limited quantity, the exclusive aspect of it. If you want to have a collection that's filled with things that other people can't get very easily, then I think it's okay. But otherwise, I honestly think that they kind of look unpainted, and it's too soon to the past releases as well. Like, we literally just got the Phantasm, like, what, 3 months ago? Like, it's so soon. The Phantasm also is pretty much only gray and black anyway, so that one doesn't even look all that much different, to be honest. Whereas these, it just looks like it's been sucked right out of the figure. It's lifeless. It feels lifeless, and that sucks because Batman the Animated Series is probably my favorite animated series of all time. Oilers Workshop had asked, I feel like Mondo's releasing one figure every 9 years. Am I wrong to feel that way? I would say yes, and only because they've also been really focused on Masters of the Universe He-Man series, as well as the X-Men line. They're looking at doing the Spider-Man animated series line soon. So, like, they're dipping into a lot of things, but they've really been going ham on the Masters of the Universe line and X-Men line, for sure.
Yeah, they. I think we're gonna see some of that new Spider-Man stuff with SDCC in a couple months. So I think we'll see that, like, prototypes from Mondo on those at least. So that'll be cool. Cause I know I was like shitting on the Wolverine that I got, but after posing it and putting it in my garage shelf, like, I like it a lot more. It looks pretty sick, and it really stands out under the lights, like, very colorful. So. The joints do stand out, so if you're someone who hates joints, you're not going to like them. But I think they're really cool, man. If I was a bigger Batman animated series fan, I'd get these. That feels like a little bit of outing myself, because I know everybody loves this. I don't care for it that much, but yeah, I like what Mondo's doing, so I'm excited for the Spider-Man stuff at least.
The other thing to consider, sorry, before you go, Badfish, the other thing to consider is if you don't necessarily have collection space for 1/6 scale versions of these characters, Todd McFarlane is going back and doing a lot of the old DC Direct figure line again. And honestly, they're kind of like that 6 to 7 inch scale, but like they look awesome. They look like direct rips from the original show, whether that's Batman the Animated Series or Batman: A New Adventures. But either way, like they look really, really good, and honestly take up a whole lot less space, especially if you want to dive into more than just one or two of the characters. Now, I'm a 6 scale collector at heart, but my small 7-inch line is up top, and honestly, it's still one of my favorite parts of the collection to look at. And as I said, you can just fit so many more
Small
in.
7-inch. Did you
I
hear
know
that?
one could be so lucky.
Small 7-inch.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
What a bastard.
yeah, -1 point. -7 points actually. These are the most niche thing, as Zach said. I think they're very niche. So when you told me that they're so limited, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, there are those hardcore animated collectors that will buy like anything from this. The Joker is kind of like you were saying, the color sucked out of him. The Joker's the biggest one that kind of is like, oh man, he's just, I mean, he's got all the different colors.
He's supposed to be colorful. He's the
Exactly.
Joker. He looks like he's lifeless.
Well, I feel like
yeah.
because he has the suit, it kind of gives me like a noir vibe, more like a Dick Tracy kind of thing. So I feel like the black and
That's
white's
where it would
cool
be kind of
for him.
cool, yeah.
But,
so
yeah,
there is a place for it for someone, but yeah, and the price $219, damn, it is pretty steep too for that. Yeah, there's the Joker, and Mr. Freeze. Sorry, totally forgot about Mr. Freeze. But I don't know. These are, even Mondo themselves, I feel like I don't think they sell out very quickly, right? They're not very big runs.
So they do sell out pretty quickly. They're usually timed release windows. There's the occasional ones like this that have like a quantity, like a 1,000 limit sort of thing. But one thing that I have found about Mondo is over time they typically release the same characters again. They just come with slightly different accessories. So like Skeletor was a good example of that. Skeletor for Masters of the Universe for a long time was a huge chase figure, and the price was going up on that guy like crazy. And then they reissued it and improved the joints and some of that stuff and added new accessories. So it still kind of retained the old value one, but also gave collectors an opportunity to buy again. So, and again, these 4 figures that they're showing here, they haven't been out that long in color. So I don't think anybody's necessarily scratching at the bit for these quite yet. You can still find these other places in color.
There we go. Let's see here, and going back to Hot Toys, we have the Thor Love and Thunder blogger photos. I will be honest, I just don't know. It's not my area of expertise, but I just don't like. It's not even the Hot Toys' problem. I just don't like the design with the helmet and the armor.
100%.
It looks more like what is that anime, Dean? It's
Saint Seiya.
Yes, the Mexicans love it. Yes, Saint Seiya.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. It really reminds me of that. I
tried
tried
to
get
Dragon Ball.
No.
I tried to get into it too, Zach. Couldn't do it.
Dragging these balls on your face. Yeah, not a big fan. I tried many times to get into that anime, but couldn't do it.
This figure is. I'm with you, Zach. I don't like the design of the character. Not Hot Toys' fault. I think Hot Toys nailed the figure. Actually, the one time I would say the lightning accessories are kind of cool because you get a fuck ton, and that is an impressive shot where he's like jumping with the thunderbolt. That looks great objectively, but it's just like if I'm gonna get a Thor, it's not this one.
No.
So, but as it sits, if you really want a Thor and this is the one you want, and you want like the latest and greatest, sure, absolutely. I could see why someone would like this. I think that what we were solicited, I think that's what you're getting. I didn't really see any like drop in quality really. Yeah, I think it's like kind of like inoffensive. Like, yeah, there it is. Like, that's it. That's what you got. So yeah, it's like this weird, maybe just because I didn't like the movie. I don't know, but it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess.
This is I don't know if I like the sculpt, to be honest. Like with the helmet on it looks kind of good, just like Dean said, with nailing the look. I don't like how wide the feather ears, whatever they normally are, go up. But basically I'm not I don't like the sculpt really either. The first picture you showed, I don't know. I feel like he's like 10 years older than he should be looking. I don't know. It doesn't look like Hemsworth. I don't know. Something's off with the sculpt, big time.
Yeah, so for me, if I had a celebrity crush and it was a dude, it would be Dean. And if it wasn't Dean, it would definitely be Chris Hemsworth, because that man is a good-looking fellow. And I agree with you, Badfish. I don't think this captures him at all, honestly. And it's sad because I don't love the helmeted look on the figure either. I don't think that this line has gotten as much love from Hot Toys. I think they kind of gave it to their B team or their C team. Gore was pretty cool for sure. I think he's probably the best so far of what's been solicited. I don't think Thor looks that great. I didn't love the design of the outfit from the film, which immediately told me that I probably wouldn't want the figure specifically. But I didn't actually have a Hemsworth Thor in my collection yet. And I've got everybody else, like Iron Man and Captain America and all those. So like I need a Thor, but all of them up to this point I haven't felt like so enamored by in order to get my money. I think the closest one for me was actually the short-haired Ragnarok version, the gladiator look. And I think that was probably the closest to Hemsworth that we've gotten so far, at least from the ones that I recall. The other thing, though, is that, like, I don't know if you guys have had this experience with the energy effects with other figures. They're like those, like, Chinese noodles that you get kind of at the end of a meal, like a palate cleanser. Like, to me, like, every time I try and put them on any figure accessory, they just break on me entirely. And they feel so cheap in my hand, but I also think that they kind of cheapen this particular figure. Like, look how many lightning effects is on that axe. Like Stormbreaker there, you can't even see the blade of Stormbreaker. It's so covered in Chinese noodle electricity effects, and I don't love that look.
I don't think you can say that.
You sure you can? That's what they remind me of. The little, you know what I'm talking about. They're tasty. Oh my god. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a tasty way.
Here you go,
Ben. Silence! Wow. But this is a pass for me. This is a pass for me. And I'm disappointed because if it ended up turning out better than the prototype, then I may have pulled the trigger to get a Hemsworth in the collection. But nope, not this one.
Go back to the sculpt there, Zach. Just got it. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead,
doesn't
Eddie.
look great.
Go ahead, Eddie.
I think the best Thor figures are the Road Worn from the beginning of Ragnarok.
That one's awesome.
Infinity War and the Gladiator one that Ben mentioned, some other people in the comments mentioned. Those ones are my favorite. I've owned all of those twice and sold them all. And now the only Thor I have is Fat Thor,
Classic.
which is hilarious because I hate Fat Thor, but he's the only Thor I have. Someone photoshopped this where the blue is gray, and it looks so much sicker. Like, the blue is very vibrant, and I don't hate it, but when I saw the gray, like, I was like, that looks pretty freaking sick, dude. So I kind of wish it was gray, but yeah, I hate this movie so much. Like, even if it is a great Thor, I'm not going to get it just because I don't want to be reminded of that in my collection. Oilers mentioned that, and then there were a lot of comments that were mentioned that I, like, agreed with, like, Draw the Line even said he wanted a 2.0 Avengers Thor, sculpted or rooted. I have a strong feeling we're going to get a 2.0 of that might even be an artisan one, because he's got long hair. Like, I couldn't see them not doing an artisan Thor. Like, it has to happen, and I think it's going to be either Avengers look or Age of Ultron, because I think those are, like, some of the better Thor looks, like the suit and everything, so I have a feeling we're gonna get that, but that would be awesome.
Great point, actually, Eddie. Yeah,
and I think it's gonna happen. So if you guys want to hold out, and then obviously we're getting the Hono the comic
Thor
version, which I think will be pretty sick too. So we got some cool Thors coming. Don't just get this Thor because you want a Thor. Like,
I wonder how long the elbow joints are gonna last too.
3.5 weeks.
If you keep it bent, not very long, dude.
Man, I hope you're right, Eddie, because I think, like, when I think Thor, I think Avengers Thor.
Yeah.
And that figure was so bad.
Yeah.
It was not good. I had it. It was my only Thor forever. And he was too small. He was shorter than my Civil War cap. It was weird. I was like, what the fuck? So I had to, like, if I had all my Avengers out on the shelf, I had to put him on a stand just so he would be tall enough. It was awful. And then you couldn't move the arms. The sculpt was just not great. If they do a Rooted 2.0, that would be fantastic. That would be the Thor to get.
I have a feeling they're going to do that whole first movie again. Like, all of the Avengers, at least. I don't know. They're going to need some content for Marvel characters. Because we got nothing other than Wolverine and Deadpool.
We technically got the Cap again, right? With Endgame.
That one, you're right on that.
Then they did the Mark 7 recently. That was only, what, 2 Iron Man ago? 3
Well,
Iron
then they
Man
did do
ago?
the 2012 suit again for Captain America as well, the blue. Like, what is it? Your butt looks good in those
That's what I
pants
said, the
version.
Endgame one.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were meaning the Endgame actual suit. My apologies.
No, the Endgame Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
So a Black Widow, a Thor, and
maybe a new Hulk.
Hulk. Yeah, we haven't had Hulk in forever.
That's it would be one.
Marco talked me out of that Hulk that I could have bought for $500 Canadian. So they
I
better
think
release
that's a
another
good,
Hulk.
because I think they're going to do it, man. But we'll see, I guess.
I hope so. We'll see.
There we go. Let's see here. We have last and certainly least the Star Trek Picard Captain Liam Shaw.
I'd own that figure on the right if only I had a wheelchair to put him in. Damn it.
This guy looks like he bullies minorities.
Wow. Well, I was gonna say it looks like Ben a bit, but
wow.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay,
wow.
thank you.
Not at all.
Jesus. Oh wow. I see.
Wow.
This guy's
The swooping
definitely
hair.
racist.
Oh my god.
He's so racist. He says racist with a hard R.
Jesus.
oh my god.
He says figure like Ben? Is that what you're trying to say?
Wow. You can't say that at all.
What the hell?
There's nothing wrong with how I say it.
Oh, there's everything wrong with how you say
guys.
it.
Need to see it.
Makes me really worried for you, Ben.
Oh my god.
What is
Anyways,
this,
Ben, tell us what this
So
is.
is this guy a racist, Ben? Yeah, we want to know.
Is this guy a racist? So the actor is awesome. I will say, he's a good dude. He's a collector himself.
We're not
he's been a
talking
Star
about
Trek
the
fan
dude,
his
Ben.
entire
We're
life.
talking
Does he hate aliens?
I get it. And when the Exo6 showed this man his figure, he was elated. He was very excited. It was humbling to watch. I loved it. On the other hand, I do not think this looks enough like Captain Shaw from Picard Season 3. I just don't think it does. The character in the beginning was kind of a dick. Over the course of the show, he kind of grows on you a little bit, and then he has kind of an emotional catharsis scene at the end of the show, which definitely makes you like him a lot more. But in my opinion, not enough to collect him. If you potentially collect Star Trek captains, he's one that you could add as a captain. But I don't think that the sculpt is good enough here. It looks really weird next to the actual actor himself, and the actor is a very unique looking dude, I will say. Like, I mean, I think his likeness is probably tough to capture, but they didn't nail it on this one for sure. Now, the price point of these, keep in mind, we've been looking today at things like InArt, we've been looking at Hot Toys, right? Those price points are still aggressively higher. Like, this is still in the price point of a Mondo figure. This is $200 plus $20 shipping, coming out Q3 of this year already. And so for the price, it's more of an entry price point to put the figure in your collection if you really love Star Trek, or if you loved Picard Season 3. I loved Picard Season 3. It felt to me like Season 8 of Star Trek The Next Generation. It was a great show. I mean, it literally even made me cry. Like, I loved it. But in order to pair with him, I wouldn't pair this with Admiral Picard, because the scenes that they're in together kind of were frustrating to watch. I actually would rather him be paired with his first officer, Seven of Nine, or First Officer Annika Hansen in the show. And Nanjin has teased that she may come, but I haven't seen much in the way of any official postings yet about that. So at this point, I think it's still just a little bit of a tease. I think she needs to be in the display next to Shaw if you're going to display from Picard Season 3. At this point, though, I know a lot of Exo-6 collectors out there, a lot of Star Trek fans, are just getting frustrated by how thin some of these lines still are, and how they haven't gone back really to, the original series or finishing the Next Generation line or some of the other shows. So until they start finishing some of the other shows that I think people want more, these are the characters that I think will be cool to have eventually, but it's not a need for right now. I'm going to save my money and wait for the characters that I truly want, and then see what happens. But if Exo-6, like they originally stated, they were only going to have a 5-year plan. They're about 2.5 years in now. I don't know if that plan has changed, but they got a lot of other characters to finish if they're going to stick to a 5-year plan before they move on. So we'll see, but unfortunately, this one does not do it for me. I do not think it looks super good, which is sad to say because I liked the actor and I thought it was cool to see him get his own figure. I thought that was cool.
Appreciate the insight.
This is really quick. This is a somewhat known actor. Like if you saw the actor who played him, you'd be like, "Oh, I know that guy." No clue.
Really?
Would have had no idea. Look up Todd Stashwick. No freaking clue that this would have been this guy if I wouldn't have.
I've never seen this human being.
Oh, I do know that guy.
Yeah, he's been in like a couple cowboy movies, I think, or cowboy TV show I saw.
There's a Kim Possible live action movie.
Holy shit! That figure.
Wow, this looks nothing like that.
It's
that look
terrible.
I think she might be a minor, so I don't know.
Wow,
looks like a little kid. I've never seen this man in my life.
Well, I know
it's a rough portrait. It's a rough portrait.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah.
Can you bring
this
up
portrait?
Looks
Looks like Peyton Manning and Tom Hanks had a baby. This looks terrible.
Oh, that's great. That's a great combo.
He looks nothing like this guy.
Yeah, I think he's in Supernatural.
He's in Vampire.
Oh, he
Diaries.
is in Supernatural. That's that's a great call out.
I hate it.
He's a cool dude though, and he has come on a couple streams. I've seen.
That doesn't look anything like him.
It doesn't.
No, 6-Scale Mafia had him on his channel at one point too, and seems like a cool dude.
Oh, he
so.
did. I remember that.
Yeah,
there we go. So friendly reminder, if you want to purchase from Collector Zone, you can get 15% off your in-stock items and full pay pre-orders with code CW to make Badfish happy. Apparently I said that incorrectly. I didn't know that he was the fucking judge of that. But anyways, they have lots of stuff. They don't just do 1/6 scale. They do statues and Mythic Legions and Warhammer stuff. So be sure to check them out. Get a discount with code CW. Let's see here. Junk drawer. Not a ton of stuff. We'll start here with some game news. The Fallout 4 PS5 and Xbox Series updates are releasing on April 25th. They promise up to 60 FPS and increased resolutions, performance, and quality modes, along with stability fixes and improvements. One of the greatest games, I think, of all time, easily in my top 5. Dean, you've been watching, and I think it was Eddie and
Marco.
Ben, maybe? Or Marco? You guys have been watching the Prime series. Pretty good?
Amazing. Fucking amazing. It's so good.
Ooh,
as a fan
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, as a fan of as a fan of the games, there's lots of little Easter eggs and stuff. Lots of stuff to look out for. It doesn't. I feel like you don't need to know the world of Fallout to enjoy the show. Like the games, you don't have to play the games. It kind of explains everything that happens and how it happens, as you're watching the show, and through the characters finding out. Yeah, it's fantastic. Lots of ups and downs and twists and turns and character growth, and it's so cool. It's such a good show. I really had fun watching it.
That's awesome to hear, dude. Because I loved Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Never loved New Vegas. I didn't quite get into the Fallout New Vegas game as much as others. And then when Fallout 4 came, I gave it a chance. New Vegas. And
New Vegas.
And New Vegas. When Fallout 4 came, I put in easily 150 hours into that game because in that game you could base build, so it was really cool. Like I developed these huge bases and like lined it with like power armor, and you'd collect comic books all over the world, so you could have like comic stands and stuff. It was so much fun. Like basically these huge tree forts. I would definitely recommend Fallout 4 if it's a good price and it's being upgraded. I bet it'll be fun. But when Bethesda says that they've fixed things like bugs and stuff, it makes me laugh because they always say that, and those Bethesda games are some of the buggiest freaking games I've ever played.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Zach gave me the tour of one of his bases one time.
Hell yeah, baby!
And he had like a shrine to fallen
Camp
warrior.
Ox, bro. Yeah, this lady saved me from a rad scorpion attack, bro. She gave her life, made a mausoleum in her honor.
What the hell are you talking about?
I definitely.
So you can build bases like Ben was saying, and I had this huge compound. There was probably like 50 people living in this compound, and I call it the VIP compound because it was a mod, and you could it was like a base, and you could go inside like this, like almost like a barracks, and there was an elevator that would take you down to the base, and inside it was like it was like a fucking mansion inside, but above it was like this shitty shanty town with like guard towers and like military barracks, and this one beautiful lady gave her life for me. I was like up, doing my rounds for the team, and it was funny because on the top of the map upstairs, so you have that crappy elevator there, but there's also a private cabin for the warden, and in your room there's a hatch that leads to your private bedroom downstairs. It's so awesome. Anyways, a lot of people died in that attack, but one lady specifically saved my life, so she got a mausoleum. And I love Fallout 4.
I watched the first episode of the new show. It was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm intrigued. So I've never played any of the games. So I don't feel lost or anything. I feel like it.
That's good. That's good.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Pretty
So
good,
each Fallout takes place in different years, and then 2 different parts of the country. Because there's like 122 different vaults, I believe. And yeah, it's this takes place 9 years after the events of Fallout 4.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And this takes place in California.
Ooh. I would love a power armor 6 scale.
Oh, bro,
there are
even after one forever.
Didn't 3.0 just do it?
Yeah, 3.0.
Do they?
They've been remaking them, but
they're on Sideshow too.
I want a Nuka-Cola. Like
they
I just
have
want
that
a 1-to-1 scale Nuka-Cola.
1-to-1.
Yeah, because I want to put it next to I have Juggernog and Speed Cola. Yeah, I have these. Look, real quick.
People sell them custom at like conventions and stuff like that. You could probably buy one at Etsy or something like that.
Yeah.
Like for pretty cheap.
My sister has the Pip-Boy.
I wish I knew that before I bought these.
You put your phone
I spent
inside?
too much money on these.
Not probably that cheap, but maybe what, $20-$30 probably. I don't know for the video. It can't be that expensive.
Wait, the Pip-Boy, was that an exclusive? That was an exclusive for like if you bought a game, right?
Yeah,
the Fallout 4 one.
Was it Fallout 4 or Fallout 3?
The the Pip-Boy that you got on your wrist.
Yeah,
I have it.
Yeah, my sister has it. It's fucking.
Can I have it?
For Fallout 4. And the funny thing for Fallout 4, I loved Fallout 3. I'm thinking I'm keeping this one, but I love Fallout 3.
How dare you.
And I played because my buddy played the second one, Fallout 2, and he couldn't wait for the third one. He beat it like 4 or 5 times, and I eventually got it. But basically, 3 was amazing. 4 though, I got, I think, up to the base building tutorial, and they made me build a little farm during the tutorial. I'm like, I'm out. I don't know why. I was just out, and I just couldn't deal with the base building at the time. And I should give it another shot.
Too bad. I love
Even if I skip the base building, it sounds like it could be fun though, with the comic stand and building shrines and stuff. So, but beyond that, I should at least give it a chance for the story and all that stuff. Because the single player versions, 76, I will probably never play. But I'll at least give 4 a chance, and I still own it, so why not?
76, I did not enjoy.
At the end of the last episode, not after the credits, but during the credits, there's a tease at the end. That's pretty fantastic.
At the last episode?
We've been getting really good video game shows like Fallout, Last of Us, and I really like the Twisted Metal one on Peacock. And it sucks because all of those are much better than the Halo one. The Halo ones I'm just struggling through because I love Halo so much, but it's crazy how much better all of these shows are
season
than
2
that
of Halo
show.
more.
Well, because the showrunners for Halo were like, yeah, we're not paying attention to
fucking idiots,
the lore and the stories of the games.
Makes no sense. Why even do it?
They literally
yeah, exactly.
said
Then
that.
why are you doing it? And like,
Mass
that's exactly what
Mass
happened to
Effect
The
could be an
Witcher.
amazing show. Mass
God.
Effect could be an amazing show if they did it
Mass
well.
Effect would be dope.
That
Somebody
scares
gave a
me.
shit about it. Yeah. But yeah, you're not wrong, Eddie. It does suck.
You guys watch The Chosen. That's my show right there. Almost done with season
What about
3.
Merlin?
I was gonna say
Yeah, you
Merlin's
completely
never
forgot.
gonna get
It
finished.
keeps piling up.
Never gonna get
Yeah,
finished.
it keeps piling up, boys.
I'm gonna start Merlin and finish it before Zach does, and I've never seen a single episode.
Okay, that's
That's
because
what
you have
happened
too
to
much.
me.
That's because you have too much time to do anything, Badfish. You're fucking
No,
playing at
no,
work,
I don't.
Playing that bullshit and fucking have nothing better to do, Badfish. I have work to do, Badfish. I can't just stick around all day.
Can't get around to Target either. I mean,
How dare you? Okay, Badfish, get him out of here. Get him out.
I
You
think
know
that
what?
deserves a point.
It
actually.
is
Amazing.
How dare you, Badfish? How
Put your hand in the box.
I'll put my hand in your box if you ever talk
What
like
the
that again, Badfish.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What?
How fucking
It
dare you
fits.
talk to me like that. You know what? I'm out of here, guys. Fuck you guys.
Oh,
See, when you put your-
hate
You
to see it.
guys.
Remember, when you put your hand in the box,
Yeah,
there's
especially
a lot
you.
of pain
Especially
For
you.
him or you?
for him.
Minus 2 points.
Wow. Stretched out. Huh?
Here we go.
What
Speaking
have
of
I
boxes
done?
and things you can put your hands in, there will be a new Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket designed by Deadpool. I should roll my eyes
God.
at this. I'm so sick of Deadpool.
Oh, I saw. I don't know if it was legit.
With the mouths
but
on the side.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
that, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was real, so I didn't want to include it. But we also did get a look at the first look at Logan's Comics accurate mask, which I fucking love this outfit. But this is from the Soda Cup, which is amazing that we're getting all this news from cups and buckets of popcorn. We're truly living in the golden age of movie swag. So that's very exciting there.
You know,
I say,
I'm
I
gonna
gotta know. What
comment
do you
on this.
think, Eddie? Yeah, I
Since-
want to know what Eddie thinks.
since we're on this anyway, I know that everybody is like really wants to see him in this suit. For me, I feel like it goes against this version of his character to wear this shit. Cause like in the show, he's very, very serious and like he makes fun of spandex and it kind of feels out of place. So I want to see how he gets tricked into wearing this shit in the movie because it feels very out of character for him, in my opinion. And then the fact that I don't like this look, like, I don't know. I don't like it, dude. I don't know if it's the fact that the wingtips are so small. Like, I prefer the Marvel versus Capcom, like, super exaggerated wingtips. So, like, I don't know, man.
The head
Good-
is
good
too
man,
round.
Eddie. Good
Is
man.
what it is. It's too like bulbous looking.
Yeah, I don't know.
He looks like a
You're too
Birdman.
bulbous.
Wow.
I don't
You
know.
hate
I
to
don't
see
know
it.
why I said that.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm not loving it.
I'm sure he'll bitch about it because like at the end of the Wolverine film, you see him open that suitcase. Remember, and he had like the brown and orange version, and even that he
brown
kind of
bulbous? Oh.
he kind of scoffed at that. But it's like I could see that making a return, and like Deadpool will find a creative way to get this man in that outfit, guaranteed, which I'm sure will be funny. So
I'm looking forward to the movie. I will say,
Yeah, the movie
as
is
like
super hype.
much as I don't care about Deadpool or Wolverine really.
Wow, dude, get him out
Sorry.
of here. You realize that Ryan Reynolds is Canadian? You gotta support your people, bro. What the fuck?
I support it. I've seen the movies, but yeah, the characters I've never had any connection. Even in the '90s with the X-Men show, I was always into Spider-Man more than that and
Good man.
Batman
Good man.
over the X-Men. I watch them sometimes, but
For
or
someone
the
who
real
likes to
Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters.
Be
is
as
also on.
sarcastic as you are in chats, I'm surprised you don't like Deadpool more. You know?
Yeah, I get.
You
Yeah,
hate
I
to see
guess
it.
so.
He
I
truly
don't.
is a
It's not that I
bad
don't dislike. I don't dislike the character. It's just I have never like. He's never been like a favorite or anything. Same with Wolverine.
Should have got him out of here when you had the chance, Zach. Hate to see it.
I hate to see it.
I actually miss Marco right now. That's how much you suck right now.
Too much Canadian energy, sorry.
Yeah, hopefully we get him back soon. Hopefully his team doesn't make the playoffs because I miss Marco. Transformers and the G.I. Joe crossover movie is officially happening. I didn't say I didn't like you. I just said I miss Marco.
I know.
Let's see here. Following a tease at the ending of Transformers Rise of the Beast, Paramount has officially confirmed at CinemaCon 2024 that a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie will be released in theaters in 2025 or 2026. Very cool for that. Let's just blow through this so we're not here all night.
Better have fucking John Cena.
This is a sign of the Dark Timeline #1. All right, this is the first sign. This is the first sign.
There we go.
2 movie franchises that should have died already.
Whoa!
Dare you. Okay.
How dare you?
It is silence.
It's true. You know it to be true.
Listen, Al-Gaib. Oh, I saw it on Sunday.
Listen, Al-Gaib.
How was it?
It was damn good, man. It wasn't Empire. I don't think it's the Empire Strikes Back. I don't think it beats Empire, but it's damn good. It's definitely worth seeing in theaters. There wasn't many showings left, so if you can get out there and do it, Civil War. Don't see that over this.
Yeah,
in my
Iron
opinion.
Man wasn't even in the movie.
I kept waiting for him to pop up, and people just kept dying, dude. I was like,
yeah, you're like, bro, what the
Daffis,
fuck? Where's the Sokovia Accords?
the Sokovia.
I sort of remember last week. I sort of remember yesterday. What's up?
When I kept hinting at Zach, like, I haven't seen it yet, Zach. You like?
Yeah, I was wondering why.
Oh yeah,
you don't get out much, so I was wondering why you would even say that.
Jesus, you guys could have stopped at Target before.
Yeah, you could have done it on the way.
Yeah. He didn't.
Okay, now you're saying
he got you there.
First off, Dean, you know what you do if you're a man, you want to take another man on a date, you ask. Okay, you don't fucking beat around the bush.
Yeah, so
you're like, oh, wow,
you beat around the bush.
I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't state your intentions for me, Dean. I didn't know.
Okay,
I told you let's go get some glizzies.
He must have been doing something else like drawing while he was on the show or something.
Yeah, I hate to
It's
see
a hot
it.
commodity.
I still haven't seen it. I really wish I had someone to go see it with, though.
You're a bad person.
You know what? You know what actually pissed me off? I was actually so mad. I was actually so mad. I always see movies with my friend Clifford, and
the big red dog.
Red dog.
I knew someone
has a disability, so let's chill.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so
I'm so glad it wasn't
I was
me.
like, let's go see, because yesterday Spider-Man 2002 was in theaters, but it was only one day only. It was yesterday, and I think one showing today, but it started at like 8. And I was like, let's go watch Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man. He's like, oh, I already saw it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the point. The point is we get to go see Spider-Man again in the big screen. And he didn't want to go. And I had gymnastics. I had unboxing. I had so much stuff to do. I couldn't even see it. Fucking terrible. That's what I sacrificed for you guys. And then you treat me like shit on air. So,
you do gymnastics?
Anyways. No, Vivi does gymnastics. Ben, do you think my fat ass is doing gymnastics?
I would have loved to see you swing around a pole. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Wow. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Just make sure those pasties are on in San Antonio.
Wow.
That's right.
Anyways, what are we looking at here? So, Amy on set. What the fuck is this, Dean? What even is this?
These are definitely a picture of his toys.
Is that nut?
These are a picture of his figures.
Is that nut on the right? Why are they all standing like this? Is this your toys?
Check
These are definitely figures.
No.
Jesus, Eddie.
These are the stand-ins they put on the movie when they're filming, so actors have something to look at.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
So these are like, what, 2 or 3 feet tall?
This looks like
character
Marco's
models?
posing. Right?
Oh,
I give you this. I give you this.
So
this is sign number 2 of the Dark Timeline.
So yeah, this is showing Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and Amy, who we haven't gotten confirmation was going to be in this movie. So the fact that she's on set and a character model,
thank God,
is pretty cool news.
Oh, this proto looks rough.
What?
This prototype looks rough. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Of Amy.
It's
Looks
just
terrible.
the back of her head. What are you talking about?
Dude, who voices Amy? Do you know?
In the movie? We don't know.
They probably
yet.
haven't said.
It would be amazing.
They haven't even announced that she's in it.
Oh, but she's there, so it's so this is like a.
This is like a leaked photo.
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say it would be amazing if they cast his sister in Parks and Rec.
Oh, that'd be funny, dude.
That would be hilarious.
That'd
That would
be
be
hilarious.
unbearable.
I honestly thought.
I hope they, because I was having this conversation with Deanie yesterday, because we're going to talk about the next bit of news.
I took it
But-
off the show sheet.
Tails is the only character so far that is voiced by the actual actress who plays Tails in the video games. Everybody else is like a A-list celebrity because, you know, they sell tickets. And really, as much as I love Tails, no one's there to see Tails, right? They're there to see Sonic and Knuckles.
Tails is almost
it's-
like the bad fish of streaming. You know.
Wow.
Wow. You son of a bitch.
So like, and as much as I love, because my favorite Sonic voice actor is, I just forgot his name, but he plays a much more like mature Sonic, and this Sonic is like essentially a little kid, right? If you watch the first movie, and in the second movie, he's a little older, but he needed that like youthfulness in his voice that I think Ben Schwartz brings. But Amy is also just kind of like another Tails. Like, yeah, like I'm excited to see Amy, but I don't really know who they could get to voice her. So I guess we'll find out, you know, sooner than later, Eddie. But I'll be sure to put it here when we find out.
We'll be sure to
So I'm
cover it.
sure we'll hear about it. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear about it a lot.
But someone's voice that we do know. You better have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reeves.
That
I
was a
feel like we
great
knew this
segue.
already.
It was
We did.
definitely a fan cast for sure.
Oh, okay. Keanu Reeves will voice Shadow.
I think it was
Sonic.
rumored. I think it was rumored
I think
a
it
while
was
ago.
right. Yeah.
Wasn't it
This is
Idris
sign
Elba
number
that was
3.
rumored? I thought it was Idris Elba.
No, it was actually Idris Elba.
Idra.
Idra Elba is
Idra
Knuckles.
Elba.
He's Knuckles. Yeah. he's
Idra
Knuckles.
Elba is in it already,
it's
Jack.
not.
Yeah, he's
Idra Elba.
Knuckles.
I haven't seen the second movie.
Oh, is he really Knuckles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I don't know if we
awesome.
call
And
him
in fact,
Duck
the
anymore.
Paramount show comes out at the end of this month.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. It looks
Did you
awesome.
say what I think you did?
No.
I missed it,
say
man. Now
that?
I wanna.
This is,
say
the dark,
anything.
this is the other sign of the third sign of the dark timeline. Just FYI.
How much
That's-
dark
what is with
timeline?
you?
What is
What are
with
you-
you in dark timeline?
Three
Yeah,
signs.
what's-
We're in the dark timeline. The
It's
Matrix
like
is
you
real.
want this joke
is
to
it.
work and it has it for 3 times.
I'm
This
not trying
must
to
be the
make a
third
joke.
sign
This
of the
is-
dark
this-
timeline.
The fact that
The
Keanu
fourth
Reeves
sign
is in a
is you
Sonic.
fucking saying this
The
joke
fact that
over and
Sonic
over
the
again.
Hedgehog has Keanu Reeves in it is not right. I don't know. This is so wrong.
He speaks too slowly.
But that's Shadow's
Whoa.
character.
I mean, how much plot are they going to have in this
Shadow-
movie? They just go left to right the whole time. Like,
Shadow's a really interesting character because when you first meet Shadow, he's the bad guy. And then when you find out why, you're like, holy shit, like that's dark as shit. And then when when all the
How dark?
pieces click together, he realizes how bad he's fucking up. He's like, holy shit. And so that's kind of what makes Keanu Reeves like the perfect voice actor for him. Because Keanu Reeves is he's like when John Wick talks, he's very calm and collected and like, I don't want to say sinister because John Wick's not sinister, but you also know he's not fucking around. You know what I mean? So this is cool. And there's a lot of fan videos on YouTube of people that use John Wick lines like with Sonic animations. And it actually works really well with Shadow. So this is very cool. I'm very excited.
You want to make a bet that at some point in this movie he says, "We need guns, lots of guns." I guarantee you that he's gonna do that. line.
Well, they would do something cheeky because there was a part the Parks and Rec thing in the Sonic 2 movie.
What's the Bill and Ted line? What's the famous Bill and Ted line?
Whoa, I don't know.
Well, beyond whoa. I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, I don't know.
well,
But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited.
I hope
I'm
they
And
showed
this
it.
movie comes
I
out
don't
at
know
the
how
end
you
of this
guys don't like Sonic more. We're all close to the same age. Like Sonic is like
Oh,
on
Sonic's
Sega.
great. I
Ben's
just like to
favorite
make.
video game
I
of
just
all
like to
time
tease
is
Dean.
Ocarina of Time. So he's a fucking Nintendo nerd.
Oh, what? That explains it.
Yeah, like the real kids had Segas.
Exactly.
I had
need that
Sega Genesis. I loved Sonic 2 and Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. And
Oh, there you go. What the hell's wrong with you?
That was at my. Well, it was my mom. Because my parents were split when I was younger. It's a sad story.
Wow.
But when I was
divorce,
my mom always had Nintendo. My dad always had Sega. So depending on where I was on the weekend, I got to partake in both.
That was brutal.
He basically just said "rip." That's just what he said.
Eddie, tell us about your dad.
Wow, that's horrible. That's not a funny segue at all. I say he did. No.
Jesus Christ. I said he did. Oh my God. That was Zach. Say you're sorry.
Jesus. So you picked your mom over your dad in the divorce because she had the Nintendo? Dad's only got a Genesis.
This poor fuck can't even determine.
That's why he got. That's why he got him.
There wasn't enough games on the Genesis. There was
He
not
saw
enough
the
games
ads.
on the Genesis.
He saw the ads Sega's got what Nintendo don't, and he was like, "Your mom bought your Nintendo? All right, we're going to the store and buying you a Sega."
Wow.
Poor Ben. He's a
A lot of
Sega was
Genesis
Sega
was
was edgy. It had blood. Yeah.
It was. It was edgy. Oh, that was too much.
Touch them all tonight. Let's say hi to the Patreonies, Dean.
The Patreonies. Thank you for putting up with us, guys. For real. We're a bunch of dinguses out here. Oh, look at that. At top of the list. Captain Fordo. Salute. Ian Seavey, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, E. Kwan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Giz, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Billy Badfish, and the Dark Timeline, Toy Cartel, Sweet Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Kratt, Beggo Fern, Cesar Marquand, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomansky, Rick DeGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Edgesina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Two Cothry, Watt, Derek B., Aries Portillo, Alvin J., Arelis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, can you guys hear Kevin? Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Stephen Purchase, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, did we forget Exodus?
Exodus.
Oh, god damn it. We have to re-add him. Sorry.
Exodus, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer.
Time out. Let me fix it.
I don't know if I said Jimmy Hernandez, so let me say Jimmy Hernandez as well.
All you could hear in the background is like little whimpering.
Yeah, Kevin, because he knows as soon as I start reading, I'm gonna get off soon. So he's like, "What?" He hears Ian CV, dude. He fucking, and then he comes over here until I pet him.
Dude, that might be like a new command word. Like you could teach Kevin like to do anything with that.
Ian CV.
I know every time I say Zach Guevara, Remy starts barking like crazy. It's
yeah, dogs can sense evil.
How dare you? How dare you?
What happened?
Nothing. You're just fucking dead to me. Sorry, we did not lose Exodus. I need to, when I updated to add Fordo, I guess I didn't use the most current version. So
I ain't giving him a shout out if he ain't paying. Just kidding.
Wow, how dare you? Speaking of which, we need to get together to sign something for him. So we'll do that.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
You know, when we go to Target together.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean
or go see Dune.
Wow. Well, Zach doesn't want it.
Well, I don't know. Did he want to see Dune with me? He could have sent me a message like, "What are you doing?"
He wants to see your sandworm.
Like, hey, with two Y's.
Yeah, 3 is sexual. But 2 is inquisitive. Like, hey.
I'm surprised you knew 3 was sexual. I don't feel like you get a lot of those.
No, I text your mom.
Whoa! He was ready. Wow. He was ready.
Wow.
How dare you?
Got him.
Jeez.
Got him.
No one is safe.
She has Nintendo.
Got him.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
Ben, I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about
It's funny.
the,
You know why it's funny? My stepdad's name was Dean.
Yeah, he is.
It is now.
Wow.
Ben, I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about the Matter Daddy today. Really surprised. Thought that'd be on the show sheet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anyways, Patreon benefits. We have the Ox Diver sticker and the junk drawer. That's actually a magnet. Should be in tomorrow. These will be shipping at the end of March or the end of April, beginning of May. My fat ass. So stay tuned for that. Looking at Patreon, I think I'm going out with a cold because I've been coughing all stream. We have the hot seat tier for $5, which is the digital Patreon access. We also have the Sweet Angel 750 gets you access to the Patreon chat. The sticker sent straight to your door. The $15 certified crispy certificate tier and the $25 What a Guide tier, which is the Pog Deluxe set and doubles all the stickers we send. Taking a look at our channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gipo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham City Bites, Justin Sports Card, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Loteris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, One Six Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Giss, Scarn Lord, SpongeBob SquareBall, Sunnyvale Rust, The Ben Thomas Show, Toy Mafia, and Exodus. You can become a YouTube channel member by clicking this link here. It's 99 cents if you're in the Patreon chat, or $2.99 if you are not. You get access to loyalty badges, custom chat emojis, and member shoutouts. We also have TeePublic. If you want to rock our swag, you can do so at that link there. And taking a look at the network, we have this is Small Talk this week, right, Sean? Or Badfish?
No, we were on last
OFAC.
week. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So it's OFAC this week. Tomorrow we have After Dark. Yesterday, Lane and I unboxed the the Darth Vader Kenobi Deluxe non-exclusive version, and I'm not quite sure if we're playing D&D on Saturday. I gotta check my schedule, but we may or may not be playing D&D, and question of the week every Sundays. So if you haven't answered our question of the week yet, give it a look-see and see if you want to participate. Always trying to get the numbers up on that show. So anyone have any shout-outs they want to give?
Is it Michael Estrada's birthday today? I know he's
it was
big
on my
into
Facebook.
CW, and so shout out to him. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
This is not a guarantee that if you have a birthday, we'll get shouted out on CW. I just happen to remember, so don't hold me to this, fans. Unless you pay. Just
Key. Missed you guys last week. Missed you guys. It's hard to watch it's hard to watch the show after the fact and not miss Eddie, but miss everybody else. I literally ate a burger while I watched him talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Slowly?
Literally hate to slowly.
You didn't throw up?
Sean, shout out to shout out to a channel member of mine over on Ben Thomas Show, Honest Hansel. He did win. I just wanted to let you guys know, anybody who watches both shows, he did win the figure giveaway last week. So we're getting that out to him this week. Although we're 50 subs away on the Ben Thomas Show from 4K, and we're looking at doing a 4K giveaway as well. So stay tuned. Let's Get Nuts will be back on Sunday this coming week.
Dude, my subs ain't coming in for nothing lately. Congratulations, Benjamin Thomas. Benji.
Ben Thomas.
Anyways, anyone else? Happy birthday to 14 Wellington. Again, no guarantee, but it was his birthday this past weekend.
Honestly, shout out to Badfish. I know we gave him one a week ago or two ago, but every time Marco and I can't show up, Badfish almost always says yes, which is very, very helpful, honestly, because
so true.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that's why I was going to let you go ahead of me today. I feel like you slipped in priority sequence, but
it's always fun to join you guys.
How this works.
It is good to have you.
The true Canadian trying to just be like, no, you first. No, you first.
That's right. I'll share my poutine with you later. Don't worry.
That has not been my experience with Canadians.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Anyways, we love you guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ben.
God damn.
I'm Eddie.
Twice.
I'm Badfish.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.